Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more of the United Rugby Championship. Now, this game is the most important of the season so far for these two sides. The Stormers taking on the Bulls in the URC quarterfinal. One team will be moving on to face Connacht, who were able to get themselves the upset victory over Ulster. The other, unfortunately for them, the URC is going to be over. Looking through, first of all, at the Stormers starting lineup that they have gone with, looking very strong, although missing a couple of the keys there. Stephen Kitsoff, Joseph Dweber, and Franz Malherbe as the front row. A very strong block lineup for the front row. Ruben van Heerden and Marvin Ori will be the two in the locking duo. Dion Fourie, it is great to see that man back, and he definitely adds so much to the Stormers side. He's had the most turnovers won out of any of the Stormers team, and certainly puts on man of the match performances anytime he's out on the park. Diamani at 7 and Evan Ruas recently returning. He is going to be slotting in at number 8. Herschel Yankees and Mani Libok as the 9-10. Lillian Zas, Dan Duplessis, Ruan Nell, Angelo Davids from the 7 circuit, and Damien Valimza there at number 15. Looking through quickly at the Bulls side, Gerhard Stenkamp, I should say, at number 1, Johan Rubela and Mornay Smith. Sorry, I still miss Mornay Stein. He's not there in the starting lineup, which does make me very sad. The locks, Ruan Vermaak and also Ruan Nokia. So both Ruans getting to start in this contest. Maka van Staren at 6, Kyle Brink at number 7, and Heinrich Lowe there at number 8. Interestingly enough, he actually has the most turnovers won for his side compared to Dion Fourie, and he's actually got a couple more than Fourie, which is very impressive. Imbros Papia at 9, Johan Hussen starts at number 10, David Creel, Harold Foster, Stedman Hans, Canon Moody, and Kurt Learinse, the last man in the starting lineup. So as you heard, two very good sides. Stormers sitting very nicely on the overall table for the URC, whereas the Bulls, they did find themselves coming in 6th place. Now, they would have liked to finish a lot higher than that, of course. They've been on a bit of a winning streak lately, though, actually winning their last 2 contests. Stormers, they have gone win-win, draw, loss, win. So they aren't too far away, perhaps, from finding a little bit more form. But looking through, it's actually quite interesting seeing the difference between these two sides. More points scored by the Bulls quite drastically in the overall scheme of things. 613 points compared to the 531 of the Stormers. Why am I awake, said Pads and Blaze? Because the URC quarterfinals are on, Paddy. That is why. They're going to be exciting. We've got this game followed by the Sharks versus Leinster, and then we are covering, it is the last game of the URC quarterfinals. That will be Glasgow taking on Munster. It's the final game. Bulls have lost 7 games in a row since last year against the Stormers. Number 8 is loading, and it's going to be a cracker, says Evan. Yeah, that's something that the Bulls will take into consideration only for a split second. They'll be like, right, we need to end this streak, and what better time to do it than a quarterfinal? Knock out the Stormers, who a lot of people feel have got the chance of going back-to-back after winning last year's URC competition. It would certainly be a confidence booster for the Bulls in all competitions they have moving forward. Let's go the Stormers, says Justin there, and no idea who is better team, but pick the Stormers, says Nodman. They are heavy favourites for this contest. Looking at the odds, I believe they are about $1.20, $1.25 at the moment compared to the Bulls, who are $3.80. So they are expected to win this contest. But the big thing is, the Bulls are never out of a contest up against another South African side. That is why the South African derbies always have so much excitement around them, because you just never know what is going to happen. But I think the key players for the Stormers in this match, definitely Dion Fourie. The fact that he is back is going to be huge for them. He keeps on getting man of the match any single time that he does play. And like I mentioned, he's actually had the most turnovers won for his side, sitting on 15 so far throughout the season, whereas Mako van Staren, he is actually sitting there at 17 for the Bulls. So very impressive work from him. But both sides, their leading tacklers are their locks. Marvin Ori, 164 for the Stormers. Ruan Nokia, 157 for the Bulls. And Dion Fourie going to cause havoc at the breakdown. Yeah, no matter what, anytime that man gets close to a breakdown, it just seems to all goes his way, really. He has been absolutely brilliant at timing it. Yes, he might get penalised every once in a while, but if overall he is getting more decisions right than he is getting wrong, he's going to be a very hard man to shift, which is where this loose forward trio Kyle Brink also in there. They have got Heinrich Lowe, and then the last man at number 6, I believe it is Van Staden. Yes, it is Marco Van Staden. So those men are going to have to be extremely busy throughout this match, because if they don't get it right, I think Dion Forey will. And Dion Forey is like Iron Man in the ruck, says Evan. Yeah, he's definitely going to be an aspect, or a asset, I should say, for the Springboks. He is selected, which I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be with the season that he's had. If he doesn't get selected this year off the performances that he's had in the URC, I really don't know what he would have to do to then get that spot back, because like I mentioned, it's been sensational. Hopefully Ori and Ruiz won't give away stupid penalties, says Justin. That is going to be important for both sides. The discipline side of things looks like a packed out Cape Town stadium. Yeah, in New Zealand, but this is going to be a fantastic game. We've got another game involving the South African side just around the corner. That will be the Bulls taking on Leinster. That will be starting around 4 a.m. New Zealand time, but we will be covering that one as well as the game that is straight after. For the Bulls, key players, I feel like Kurtley Arinsa, definitely one to look at. He has got the most running meters of any of this Bulls side, and the fact that he's going to be the last ditch defense. If he misses tackles, the Stormers are scoring. Whereas if he can make them right at the end, that is exactly what the Bulls are going to be needing. Welcome to the Kiwi lads. Bam, bam. And Roof Carter, 10 out of 10. Let's go, Stormers. I love you, Hamish. Says Nazi Williams. The feeling is mutual, mate. Hope you are doing well. You might be sleep deprived at the moment. Not normally how you start when you come into the live stream, but yeah, hope you are excited for these games and are excited for a night of no sleep. I am going to be getting up, or I'm going to be going to sleep, in fact, at about 9 a.m. New Zealand time after these games are finished. I get about 4 hours sleep, and then I have to wake up because me and George are going to be doing some videos and doing some recording. So that is what's going to be happening tomorrow. Then I think we're going out for tea, so the sleep might be slim, but the excitement for the rugby certainly is not. I'm available to kick the penalties for my team, says Evan there. Yeah, well, Marnie Libok, he's been struggling a little bit lately in the kicking department. So hopefully that's not the case for the Stormers today, because every point will be crucial. If they do get it wrong, you know, we saw it in the Blues game up against Moana Pacifica just before. We did see the Blues miss a lot of penalties, and it almost cost them the game. I was going to adjust this piece of here, but it seems like it's just going to stay down. So for now, it's just attached to me eyebrow. They have now got the commentary in, ready to go for this contest. A few of the other interesting stats when we look at the head-to-heads, there's actually been 201 offloads from the Stormers compared to 182 of the Bulls, but their tackling success is actually very similar, 88 and 87. And then also looking at one other side of things is the leading try scorer, Kenan Moody with 8, Clayton Blomekes with 6. Now, he was also at the top of defenders beaten and meters gained, but Clayton Blomekes is nowhere to be seen in this contest. So that is pretty massive for the Stormers not having him available. I believe he is injured at the moment, or else I certainly would have had him somewhere in there. Oosh, says Nazi. And also, hopefully, Money is 100% with the boot. I love you, Blues. Roof. I all love everyone. And I love you too, Nazi Williams, with the blue heart. Yeah, the Blues doing very well, getting themselves that victory over Moana Pacifica. It was definitely a hard-fought victory. That is for sure. They are just showing the starting lineups again, but the action probably only about 2 minutes away from this one starting. There is a sign saying busy on's hero. Now, Bismarck Duplessis, of course, that man knows a thing or two about giving away yellow cards. So he has to be very careful throughout this contest, because if he does end up getting heavily penalised, it could end up costing his side. We will go like this, and we will go like this. We are almost all ready to go. Team lineup, says Marco Vinapola. I don't actually have the picture that I normally show that does have the starting lineups, but we'll quickly run through it for the Stormers. It will be Kitsoff, Dweber, and Frans Malharba as the front row, Van Heerden and Ori as the locks, Dion Forey, Diamani, and Ivan Ruiz, the loose forward trio. Herschel Yankees and Mani Libok as the 19, Lillian Zas, Dan Duplessis, Ruan Nell, Angelo Davids, and Damian Valimza, the rest of the Stormers side. For the Bulls, it is Stennekamp, Robela, and Mornay Smith as the front row, Vermaak and Nokia, and the locks, Marco van Staden, Kyle Brink, and Heinrich Lowe as the loose forward trio, Ambrose Papia and Johan Hussen as the 19, David Creel, Harold Foster, Stedman Hans, Kenan Moody, and Kurtley Arinse, the last man And the Bulls start inside. Blomake's played Curry Cup today for Western Province. Okay, so he's not injured. That's weird that they haven't decided to play him in this contest, mainly because of those stats that I mentioned. He's been phenomenal in his past contest. 5 hours of URC, the Kiwi lads, thanks to Hamish. Says Nate there. And Clayton Blomake's. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? Although I didn't. It was a different one. Clayton Blomake's played for Western Province earlier today. So, yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't go with him off the bench. Instead, they have got Sasha Ngume Zulu, and nothing against that man. He's a great player, but when you look at the stats that Blomakis has been able to create, whether that's the leading try scorer, the defenders beaten, the meters gained, surely you need to have him in there somewhere, even if it's off the bench. Give the man a crack, is what I say. And listening and washing dishes, my wife turned dishwasher off 2 hours later, says Blues Nate there. The Blues themselves a close victory. I feel like this game's going to be less than 10 points separating them. In fact, I believe in my prediction, I said the Stormers will win by 10 in my prediction. So we'll stick with that for now. I think I said Leinster and the Sharks was going to be won by 8 in favour of the men in blue. And there was a change to the Bulls lineup. Moody is out, Hussen to 15 and Arensa to 14. Oh, so who is at number 10? Does that mean that Mornay Stain is at 10 for this contest, Grant? And cheers, bro. Nice lineup. Go the Stormers. There's Marco in there. Yeah, it's certainly going to be a big game between these two sides. It's just the atmosphere of Cape Town Stadium being sold out. We're about to see both sides in action. But the DHL Stormers, they are wearing their classic blue kit. The Bulls in the pink kit, away from home for this contest. But there are still quite a few fans who have piled in favour of the Bulls. Our Cats have the Zoomies. Says Nobman. That normally happens during the night, doesn't it? Cats go wild. Now, starting this match off, Chris Smith is going to be starting at number 10 for the Bulls. And Herschel Yankees takes it nicely just out from the Stormers line. Nicely claimed there on the halfway line by the number 15, Johan Hussen. The late change, as you mentioned as well. Now it's nicely taken by Damien Willems. The turf already looking pretty roughed up here at Cape Town Stadium. Hopefully it does last for the full 80 minutes in this contest. Joseph the Weber driven backwards, going back for the penalty advantage. Looked like Herschel Yankees were keen to take that one quickly and chucks butter knives on the stove. Is Nazi Williams. Penalty already for offside. That is against Roan Nokia, the man who has made the most tackles for the Bulls throughout this URC season. One of our Cats is over 7 kgs now. Is the chonky boy. Had to put him on a diet. There's no mum there. 7 kgs. How much does the average cat weigh? I feel like is it about 5 kgs or is it even less than that? The average sized pussy cat. Saying that they might have been hard done by the Bulls. The referee, we're wondering how much Jaco Piper will have an impact in this matchup, but it is going to be now Joseph de Weber about to throw this ball in for the Stormers. First line out of the day. Can he get it correct? It looks like it was relatively good. Yep, Marvin O'Reilly does claim it now. Herschel Yankees short ball to Dan Duplessis, who's hit extremely hard in the tackle by Johan Robala. That one goes into touch. Brilliant kicking behind. And now the Bulls, only 5 meters out from their line, will have the line out throw. And about 4 or 5 kg, says no, I'm load shedding here by me for the first 30 minutes, says Eben. That is a forward pass from Herschel Yankees that the referee did miss. Are they going to be going back for it, though? Either way, it was a very good kick in behind from Herschel Yankees. And reload those knives, matey. I'm ready, says Marco. And screw the mutants, says Gareth. And there was a bloody monster truck show on the pitch last week. Is that why it looks so rough? I mean, all well and good for the stadium, I guess, but do they really think it's a good idea booking a monster truck show 1 week before a URC final? You can kind of see the huge amount of damage that has been done. Like, surely they put down some sort of turf, did they? Or did they just say, oh, just use it? Might as well rough it up completely. And even, also, I hate the load shedding, especially when the game is on a brew, says Marco. But now short ball, Dan Duplessis goes off to Ruan now on his outside. Now to the left-hand side, big attack and run from Evan Ruas. Taken down nicely, though, by Johan Rula again. Now Herschel Yankees decides to go off to the left-hand side. Money Lebok with the skip pass. Now out to Lillian Zas. Looked like he couldn't quite get the footing underneath him for a start, but there is another advantage in favour of the Stormers. Counter-ruck from the Bulls, and we'll be going back again for another penalty here early on. And Ish, welcome to South Africa. Says Evan. Looks like Damien Valimza has got some sort of abdominal injury at the moment. Might just be a little bit winded. Tackle without the ball was the call. Yeah, he got a good shot on him. Unfortunately, didn't quite line him up, Kurtley Arinsa, at the right time. Anyway, he well and truly smashed him. It's just got him at the wrong time. Didn't have the ball. The penalty does go in favour of the Stormers, and this one should be a kickable 3. The reason I say should be is because normally Mane Lebok would nail these. But lately, he's just been a little bit low in confidence, and that could be a massive game changer for him. They do actually kick for the corner here, the Stormers. They decide against the 3 points. This is showing intent. This is showing that they are willing to really push the Bulls for the timing or push the Bulls for the tempo. Did Diamani have pink hair? I think he's dyed it again. It was blonde. Now it's gone back to pink. Joseph Weber throws the ball in, nicely taken by that man. Diamani now 5 meters out from the line. They might be told to use it. Yes, that is once. Now, Yako's normally very strict with his rolling moves. If you're going backwards too much, Diamani's getting a piggyback right up there up top. Now 5 meters out from the line. Joseph Weber dragged down. Now Herschel Yankee, short ball to Ivar Rus, who has knocked the ball on. No, they say play on. Now Ruben van Heerden takes it nicely. Stormers in possession. Kits off. Now carrying straight at Chris Smith. Was originally going to be coming off the bench, so hopefully he is well and truly match fit for this one. He might have a long game. Diamani inside ball. Beautifully done to Dan Duplessis. Now 3 meters out from the line, and the Stormers still in attack. Herschel Yankees round the side, gets driven into touch, but that is going to be another penalty advantage in favour of the Stormers. And the penalty, we have got Valimza got hit in the mummy daddy buttons. I've never heard anyone describe it like that, but now I don't think I'll ever accept anything other than that description. Warriors have gone below the top 8 now. Are we back to normal with those boys? Yeah, it seems like it's getting closer. At least their kits will be on special, Johnny? We'll be able to get them nice and cheap when the season's over. The Bulls are going to win, says Nordine. Now, I mean, they've got all the potential in the world. They are on a losing streak against the Stormers. That won't phase them one, but this is playoff rugby. If they get this 80 minutes right, they will get themselves through to the next stage of the URC. Now thrown in by Joseph Weber. Taken nicely by Van Heerden. Now 5 meters out. Once again, the rolling maul, and they are roughing it up just like the monster trucks did to the turf. It looks like boots are flying straight down into the dirt here. Now only a couple meters out from the line here for the Stormers. All they've got to do is drop down over the line, spinning Dion Fleury. He threw it at the line, but I believe he might have just got it down as well. And we'll quickly wash them knives to write this up to Stormers, says Blues Nate. I feel like I'm not very hip when it comes to the whole substances and whatnot. So what do you do a knife for? Like you put a knife on the stove. What does that do other than make a hot knife? Because all I know is a hot knife through butter. That normally goes pretty well. But I don't think that's what you guys are doing. I don't think you're all cutting butter. I think you're doing something else. Oh, no, he's dropped that. Dion Fleury unfortunately lost control of the ball. I love the consistency, Hamish. Let's do our part, guys. Like and share this video, says Deborah. Do appreciate that a lot. It's been great so far throughout the last couple of months. We had a little patch where I was sick, where I only had maybe about 3 or so live streams for that weekend. But other than that, we've been pumping out streams all over the place. And also a few videos on the channel. I'm surprised I've had enough time to be able to get those videos out there as well. But yeah, Dion Fleury dropping that ball. It is a knock on. And now we'll be going back. I believe, did they have another advantage? I don't think so. It might actually be in favour of the Bulls this scrum. Damn it. Says Evan, they were close though. That is the main thing. Well, not really. They didn't score, but they are very close to being able to get themselves. Why are we looking at this 15 times? He dropped the ball. Like, okay, he's still waiting for a feed on the screen. He does not have control of that ball at all for Dion Fleury. So Yako has to see it on the big screen. First thing we were looking for. possible kick out of the hands. That's not clear. So it's a knock on, and it should be. Okay, it's not a try. We got there in the end, which is good. I have a feeling I could have cracked my thumb last weekend game, says Petzer. I had a little bit of something similar with my finger. Like this finger here, this one, still hasn't come right from when I landed on it awkwardly at cricket. I ended up diving for a catch and smacked it backwards. I either broke it or dislocated it. But either way, I didn't see a doctor. Probably should have, because the fact that it's still sore after about 6 weeks means that something probably was wrong with it. But she's all right. Still moves. Will be completely fine in a while. Now, kick downfield from Johan Hulsen with the goal line dropout. Ivan Ruiz going to be running it back at the line, but Johan Grubela does take him down nicely. Now, Herschel Yankees goes back. Van Heerden inside ball to Damien Willemse, who does seem like he's recovered from that shot he took from Kurtley Arinsa just a little bit earlier on. Now, Stephen Kitsoff going off to the left-hand side here, but the Stormers, 90% possession so far throughout this competition. Line from Herschel Yankees picked up nicely by Chris Smith, who decides to step on the inside rather than going for the kick, possibly just trying to slow this down a little bit. And while that sort of field or pitch is that, it looks bad, says Richard. Well, that's the thing. I've been informed that they decided to have a monster truck rally type thing last week. So, yeah, it's not looking as nice as they would have liked, that's for sure. Bros Papia kicks it downfield, finds touch, about 30 metres out now from the Bulls line. The Stormers are going to have themselves the line out. Now, but the expert Nazi clarifies the knives on the stove and washing pots and fry pan. So let's say Grant and finger herpes, it happens, says Gareth, does it? How does one get rid of finger herpes though, Gareth, once you got it? Or is I'm such a rookie when it comes to these STIs or Ds or whatever they are. Is herpes curable, or is it like you just have it once you got it, boom, unlucky? I don't know. Anyone who's tuning in now will think that I've got it. It's just from what Gareth has said about the finger herpes. Now, pass the cross. The Herschel Yankees goes to Joseph de Weber. Stormers throughout this first 8 minutes, like I mentioned, 90% possession. Nice Ella dummy from Mani Lebok. He's worked out the tactic, which is make sure that we score very close to the post if you are the Stormers, so that he doesn't have struggles by taking the kicks. Now, Joseph de Weber, wide cutout pass to Diamani, and that will be the first try of the final quarters. Final, that is. And on your pads, a good work. Play like 70 or 60 minutes today, which I heard again. There's pads and a lot of sand patches. It looks like they are on the beach. Yeah, it's not looking flash. But Diamani, he has just scored himself the first try. He's got the pink here. I don't know whether or not he realised that the Bulls would also be wearing their pink kit heading into this quarterfinal. But Dan Duplessis, nice carry forward. But then it was the run, the snipe from Mani Lebok, which is something we don't normally see from him, which is why the Bulls were a little bit caught by it. Mani Lebok, he decided to take it on himself. Gareth's got a big smile on his face. Well done by Lebok. Yes, boys, says Grant there. Wait, I remember now. I said that if they win, I have to do a rugby challenge video, don't I, Grant? With me mum. I have to remember to do that some stage throughout the week. That is if they do manage to get themselves the victory. Very nicely done. Diamani gets the try out wide. Blazing up to Gunjan now, not with knives. Through me 2-foot glass bong. Okay, I know what a bong is. I don't know what the knives are for still. I know Briscoes have a sale on knives at the moment, like cutlery type ones. Go the boys, says KDK. But now Mani Lebok. First kick of the day. And he's got it over. That is already an improvement from the last game for Mani Lebok. We lost 21-17 too. The most useless ref, 3 games he has ref for my club. All the games he was bad. He's bad. So that's a very similar scoreline to what my Rugby 22 Munster versus Glasgow one was. So I guess in that case, you were Glasgow. The Stormers, eventually they had to make their way through with the amount of possession and territory that they have already had throughout this final. It's a low kick. It's an interesting one. The cameras didn't actually catch that kickoff, but Johan Horsen now puts the ball up high. Stormers chasing after it. Looks like it's going to be nicely taken by Damien Willemse. Tackled by Smith. Mani Lebok looking for the 50-22, found quite a bit of space. The crowd enjoyed that one. Now Johan Hussen kicking it back towards the 22, and it's actually going to be a mark taken by Damian Valimza. Then decides to kick it anyway. Now nicely taken again by Johan Hussen. It's going into touch on the full, and they'll go right back to where Hussen kicked it from, and he is disappointed with that. How dare you make Glasgow lose? I know. I hope Kerr doesn't see that video, Gareth, or else he'll be very angry at me. I tried my best, though. Like, that was my best performance in that game on Pro. Compared to my Shark, don't watch the Sharks Leinster game, Gareth, if you don't like seeing Glasgow lose. I'll give you a hint. I was the Sharks. No. They scored in the last minute. Ref can't see the touchline. There's Badger there. The Stormers have won 19 of their past 20 games up against sides at home. So that is absolutely incredible, which is why they want a home final, which would be the case if we do end up seeing Leinster lose to the Sharks. Now, 40 metres out from the line. Going to be now Herschel Yankees kicks the ball in mine. Looking for the territory game again. Close to the touchline. Johan Hussen almost ended up touching that one. It will now be 10 metres out from the line. Johan Hussen. And the Bulls under pressure. I saw the Sharks one. Oh, no. What did you think of my performance in that one, Gareth? You think I did all right? That was my very first game, though. I should have done a warm-up before, now that I think about it. But I was like, yeah, I'll see how I go. Can't be that rusty. The Sharks in Glasgow are going to do the rest the world a favour and get rid of the money Irish, says Gareth. And the Stormers 56, says Aline. Is that how many points you think they're going to be getting in this contest? That would certainly be impressive from the Stormers. Big bump off there on Evan Ruiz by Kyle Brink. He'll be happy about that when loose forwards do end up going head-to-head. The penalty goes against Dion Foree here. Now, one thing I've learned about Dion Foree is he's brilliant in the breakdown, but when he gets penalised, he doesn't believe he's done anything wrong. He kind of always has that face of, but I'm Dion Foree. Have you seen me in the last 5 games? Look at all these turnovers I've managed to get myself. One's kicked downfield into touch by the Bulls. But yeah, big bump off of Evan Ruiz, which is something you don't see too often for that big tank of a man. And what a kick. There's Evan in there as well. Now line out here for the Bulls, 45 metres out from their line currently. The territory stat sits 92% in favour of the Stormers and 78% for the possession. So the Bulls need to start getting this ball just a little bit more. It's going to be thrown in by Johan Grubler. Nicely claimed there. And that's going to be a fair sack. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Players are getting angry. I've never seen someone call a scrum so quickly as what Jaco Piper just did. The Bulls didn't even have half a chance of getting that ball out. He was like pretty much as they hit the ground, yep, that's a rolling ball. That's sack. That's the ball for the Stormers. How stuck was this one? So, Vermaak, it's in the hands there at the back. It's a legal sack. So then the ball has to come out. And yeah, pretty much instantly, Jaco Piper was like, yep, that'll do. Dion Foree got that face from sticking his head into rucks for the last 15 years. That's the thing. Dion Foree is the only player that I can think of off the top of my head who ends up with a black eye, cut on the cheek, bleeding nose, busted lip, and ends the game going, it was a great game, wasn't it? Like, the man is just built of brick. Certainly a key for the Stormers going forward. Don't worry about the score as long as the Stormers win, says KDK. Now Herschel Yankees and the ball in for the Stormers. Losing that rolling maul certainly won't help the possession stats in favour of the Bulls. This one, it's going to be the advantage now for the Stormers. Herschel Yankees goes across to Mani Lebok. Lillian Zas, flat ball. Damian Valenza, the flick out the back, and it's gone into touch. They'll go back. And Foree is Yester. Kind of like oyster without the O, isn't it? What does that mean? Yester. As in like yesterday? Or like yester as in like yes, he's good? I don't quite know all of me Afrikaans yet. I'm working on it. With a big push, I think. Oh, I said Stephen Kitsoff getting a bit of domination. He actually dropped to his knee there. Kitsoff. And like they've said, they didn't actually see Mornay Smith end up dropping down there. And Fori is a kamikaze lad, absolutely selfless. Should be in the bot call up, or should get a bot call up, in my opinion. Teammates will look at his selfish or selflessness and can rub off on them. Iron. Okay, I get it. I get it. Iron Man. Now it looks like they are going to be taking on the 3 points here. The Stormers means iron as in the metal, says Grant. Right. The more I know. How's it pronounced? Is it pronounced yester? Is it just yester? Or is it said in a different way? Top point scorers for this game, or in fact, in all of the URC, Mani Libok at the top with 169 points. A very impressive season, but sometimes with the kicking tee, it has gone a bit 50-50. This game so far, sitting 100%. Now from 40 meters out on the angle, certainly got the distance and the accuracy is there. So that will make the score now 10 points to nil in favor of the Storm. Now, interestingly enough, my prediction was the Stormers to win this game by 10. Although we've got a lot of rugby to be played. We're only 17 minutes into this contest. I love that Afrikaans. And Easter. Oh, okay. I see. Easter. See, I wouldn't have guessed that unless I was told that type thing. So thank you very much for that information. Now it's kicked off by the Bulls again. Going deep inside of the Stormers 22. Damien Willemse dodges the tackle attempt from Dava Kriel. Gets a big boot downfield. The Bulls decide to take it quickly. Goes back across to Chris Smith. 40 meters out from his own line. Looking for the tuck line. Oh, no, the diving take. He thought he was a football goalkeeper there, Herschel Yankees, and all he's done is bump the ball into touch. And now the Bulls are going to have the option of either the line out or the scrum on the 22. What about Easter? Is that Dion Ferry, the old guy? Is he still playing for the Stormers? Says Marco. He's relatively up there for his age, although not quite as old as Bismarck Duplessis, who is going to be coming off the bench for the Bulls a bit later on in this contest. I look forward to seeing what he does to get his yellow card this week. He is very good at doing just that. That's a big, long throw from the Bulls, taken at the back of their line out and now looking for the rolling maul. It has gone down again, so that will become the scrum for the Stormers. That is twice now that it's gone wrong with the rolling maul, so they may have to consider recycling it quickly, get it out the back, see how it does end up going. And no expiration date on the lad, says Ethan. They said last time it was sacked. This time it was held up. There just seems to be something going a little bit wrong at line out time for the Bulls. As if they're just a step behind. I feel a red for Busy today. You think he's going to come on, well, the big question is, what is he going to get the red for? I feel like Bismarck, if he's playing in a year's time, I think he'll just go out on the field and just drop someone with an uppercut. Just because he'll be like, how old is Bismarck Duplessis? I think he's like 40 or 38, something like that. Bismarck Duplessis, he is born, he's 38 years old, so he's almost 39. Actually, his birthday in a few weeks' time, maybe around the final. Hi, I've joined, says Adam. Welcome in, mate. You are doing well. I remember him from like 2012. Way back, what a lad. There's Marco. Now, ball's going to be fed in for the Stormers. Comes out the back again. Now, Mani Libok thought about the inside ball. That was close to forward into the hands of Herschel Yankees. Stormers still managed to just regain the ball in the breakdown. Even though there's a Bulls player, I think it's Mako van Starens, ended up joining from the wrong side. Now, Stephen Kitsoff, 25 metres out now from the Bulls line, 5 minutes on. He's going headfirst into the ruck. Probably. And Dammy is ancient, and Dion is like red wine. The older it gets, the better, says Eben. Ball kicked high from Herschel Yankees. I have a question regarding wine. I've never tried wine. If you let wine get to a certain age, then does it start going downhill? Or is it just like it's always going to get slowly and slowly better? Like if you had a bottle of wine from like 200 years ago, would it taste decent or would it taste absolutely terrible? Now the Bulls back in possession, 40 metres out from the Stormers line. Back into the pocket there. Chris Smith puts the kick high. Jason after this one hard. Yeah, Curly Arinsa. Oh, he took it so beautifully, but then unfortunately when his elbows hit the ground, the ball ended up bouncing free. And now it's going to be a scrum feed again for the Stormers. That's why I drink beer, says Eben. I guess the same question could apply for something like a whiskey, because they put that in barrels for a few months, don't they? Will you ever commit Or will you ever comment on GAA? I don't actually know what GAA is. George and anal? Not a simple question, that. Lots of variables, says Gareth. Yeah, I guess it's like asking someone, well, a tough question, really, isn't it? My thumb driving me insane, says Beds Ablaze. You know what you should do? You should get a flannel or an ice pack or something and just wrap it around it and have a massive thumb. But at least it might help it out. Old mate Duplessis, that's a blast from the past, and it's an Irish sport. GAA, is it Gaelic football or is it what else is involved? And where do they show it? Because they certainly don't show it in New Zealand, that's for sure. Draw getting better, says Mr. Lachlan. Yeah, massive win with a Fijian draw up against the Blues. And also the Fijiana women's side getting themselves the victory over the Reds. So a big day for Fiji. Personally, I use my entire hand. Marco Vanapola. I was gonna ask the question, but I think I wasn't gonna like the answer, Marco. Herschel Yankees now with the ball on the 22. Back to Mani Libok. Take him back so he can't find touch on the full, but instead goes straight down the middle of the park to Johan Hussen, who puts the ball high. Kirtley Arinsa once again chasing after this one. Oh, he's taken it beautifully this time. Has managed to hang on to it, and the Bulls get the ball back. Yeah, it's Gaelic football in Hurley, says Adam there. And there's the Aussie rules with a round ball, says Gareth there. Now Hussen gives it on the outside to Harold Foster. He was actually the man who scored against me in my URC gameplay that I did. Yeah, the Stormers, they just have had about 80% of the possession at this stage. So definitely more needed for the Bulls. And by just using this ball going for a few phases back to back to back, that will certainly help them out big time. I should mention, these are not the only South African sides that are going to be in action today. We've also got the Sharks a little bit later on. They will be going head-to-head with Leinster. Unfortunately, okay, there's no arms in the tackle from Mavonori, so that is the penalty in favour of the Bulls. If you leave bad wine for long enough, it turns to vinegar. And if you leave it even longer, it turns to liquid that makes you start street brawls. I see. See, that could be completely true. And I wouldn't know the difference. And draw beat the Hurricanes and Crusaders, it is not easy to do at all. It's more itchiness, says Pads Ablaze. Because I guess, is it bandaged up, maybe? And Gaelic football is bad. Aussie rules and hurling is bad hockey, says Gareth there. It looks like it is a drinks break, though, in this contest. Currently 10-0 in the matchup between the Stormers and the Bulls. It sounds like there is going to be a penalty. Okay, he didn't have a proper wrap there, so it was a shoulder charge from Avanori. He's up now with the penalty going against him. The Bulls, the question now is, do they take the 3? They are relatively straight out in front. No bandage. Game is flat. Not much happening. Expected more, says Michael. I think both sides are slowly building into it. I don't think they were going to go 1,000 miles an hour from the get-go. Seeing as this is a quarterfinal, there's always that slightly different feel, if that makes sense. Like, a team could be flat out absolutely flying, but then something that normally happens in a final is everyone slows down. It becomes more of a build, more of a methodical pace. But yeah, no wrap from Marvin already there, getting himself in a bit of trouble. Still early days, says Evan. Exactly right. The Bulls, they have decided to take on the 3 points, something that maybe in the regular season they wouldn't have done. The points are crucial in a final or a quarterfinal. Distance 42 meters out for Johan Hussen. I'm not going to have a voice tomorrow, and we are actually going to be filming, me and George, so should be fun. That's going to be missing away to the left-hand side for Johan Hussen, so slightly getting that one wrong. Be disappointed about that. The Bulls, their first scoring opportunity of the day. That man can't quite believe it. They weren't able to get any points in Grant. The New Zealand equivalent of that is Cody's, pre-mixed bourbon and cola, street brawls, and domestics. Here's Marco Vanapola. A 22 dropout for the Stormers. Mani Libok out. Get us back underway. So there shouldn't be any more drinks breaks, I wouldn't think, before we get to halftime, which means we have 18 minutes of all-out action between these two sides. The Bulls currently in possession. Ambrose Papia asks Jaco Piper for a possible penalty. Doesn't end up receiving it. Another big run from Kyle Brink. He's been very good throughout this game. Actually run over Evan Ruiz earlier on. Nice wide pass out to Stedman Hans. Found the offload on the inside now to Chris Smith, who doesn't often have a big run. Dan Duplessis takes him down, and Bros Papier now going back across to Ruan Nokia. 14 metres still separating them. Now off to the right. Horson actually diving to his side to get it away. Ball won by Dion Fori. That man is just a jackler and a half. Always getting in there. He is Aster, as you guys say. Iron in the breakdowns. Gaelic Football Dublin, Limerick Mayo Meth. I mean, Marco might know a thing or two about them. In more countries, or counties, sorry, in GAA. And Grant, oh no, I read the equivalent, didn't I? That one's going to be kicked into touch now. You see there, Johan Horsen, to get that pass away to the side, with the feet just slipping out from underneath him, had to actually go for the dive pass. But also maybe that's his weaker side for passing. And Aisto, I love it. Says Evan there. At the moment in the URC 2023, Macha van Staden sitting at the top of the bunch with 17 turnovers. Dion Ferry now moving up to 16. He was 2 behind at the start of this contest. Now starting to build that a little bit more now. It's nicely thrown in by Joseph de Weber. Herschel Yankees goes to Mani Libok. Little chip in behind. Lillian's ass chasing. It's going to be bouncing up and it might just roll dead. It certainly does. And the Savannah Stadium, says Adam. There's all right. They've got the option of a 22 dropout or the scrum from where it was kicked. They decided to go for the 22 dropout. They took it quickly, but it's backfired as the Stormers have been able to claim this ball on the halfway line. Running it back now with Evan Ruiz. Bowers back, whoop, whoop. And there as well, and Stormers. It is called Karate Water, says Grant. Now Herschel Yankees off to the right-hand side. Evan Ruiz and behind for Mani Libok. He's had a huge amount of running meters today. Pass on the outside. Goes almost just, no. They have managed to fumble actually twice there. First it was Angelo Davis. Then it was Diamani who wasn't able to hang on to it. A little bit of pinball with knock-ons. Well, it looks like Diamani might have a bit of a sore rib now, though. And loving it. Well done. But as usual, go the Stormers. Says Shalaby, and it is great to have you. I hope you have been having a great week so far. Been excited for the build-up for these games. And now they are here. The Sharks versus Leinster, the next game. That is going to be kicking off at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. So 2 hours time. We will be covering that game on the channel, hopefully with a voice. And then also after that, we are going to be doing the game between Glasgow and Munster. Where do you get the name Stormers from? It's a good question. I guess it's the same, though, as where do you get the name Hurricanes from? So it might be something to do with like a natural disaster type thing. You know, a storm's coming, Stormers. Maybe. Go the Bulls, says the Mob, and go the Stormers, says Colin there. And thanks for the commentary, mate. Go the Sharks, says Joss Pike. And it was great to see you again, Joss. You have been keeping well. It will now be a 5-meter line out here for Joseph Weber and the Stormers. A lot of pressure here on the Bulls. Oh, Jaco Piper. What's his problem? They want to go upstairs for something here. They're reviewing a tackle. The Storm is extremely windy in Cape Town. And also, why can't you just show the screen you are watching on? Pretty much the easiest way of describing it is copyright. Due to the fact that I haven't paid millions of dollars for the licensing, it means that I'm unable to show any audio, any footage of the game, or else it is copyright infringement, breaking the law, could end up getting sued. It's a good run from Mani Libok. Okay, they want to see the action of the 7 for the Bulls, which was Kyle Brink putting the hit in on Diamani. Now, he didn't have the ball. Does he step on the touchline first? I feel like that shouldn't matter, though. Foul play's foul play. Nah, the bump, it doesn't matter if his foot's on the touchline. If there's an illegal play, because or else then what you're going to do? Player goes into touch, you throw an uppercut because you're not going to get penalised for it because it's not on the field of play. There are many shipwrecks along the coast of Cape Town. I wish your game is stuck at 23. It certainly is. Now it's up to 28. Okay. What are they going to decide here? Why do I feel like they're going to make a bad decision? Okay. In a good attacking area. Oh, hang on. We're not going penalty try, are we? Oh, like it's too far out. It's not a penalty try. Fair enough. It's a yellow card, though, for Kyle Brink of the Bulls. Seven Pink. The name Stormers comes from Cape of Storms, says Alfie there. The name Stormers came from an old name for Cape Town. It's named Cape of Storms about 350 years ago. Winter in Cape Town means lots of storms off the coast, says Grant. You guys have good fishing in Cape Town, Grant? If you are in Cape Town, which I assume you are. You ever go fishing anywhere? Is there any good spots about? I've been to my fishing lately. 5 meters out from the line. Now Joseph Dweber, ball at the back, gone down here. Joseph Dweber, short side, tries to bulldoze his way over Ambrose Papia, who I believe was able to just hold him up. That is sensational from Ambrose Papia. Joseph Dweber saw the halfback in front of him and said, I'm going over him. And Ambrose Papia said, well, if you're going to, I'm going to hold the ball up. And Grant's on the moon. And where do I get the name Island from? I couldn't spell Island, says Gareth. Bro, in the Savannah Stadium, says Adam. But yeah, he tried to drive straight through Ambrose Papia, just kept his body position low enough to keep him off the back. It's great stuff from Ambrose Papia. And yeah, beautiful seafood, mate. Not sure about the leisure activity of fishing, though. Yep, Cape of Storm, says James. Nicely taken by Evan Ruiz, now 35 meters out from the Bulls line. Still very much lacking possession here for the Vodacom Bulls. And I should also mention they're playing with a man disadvantage. There's going to be another advantage. I believe this time it is for a knock-on. They call it deliberate. That is against Stedman Hans. They just can't find the momentum at the moment, the Bulls. Stormers kicking for the corner here. They've got the man advantage. They feel that that is the best option. I'm from Cape Town. I've been not in Cape Town. You have two oceans to do fishing from, says Grant. Sounds all right, doesn't it? If I ever end up in South Africa, I feel like there are two things I would like to do. In fact, probably more than two things. I would like to go to a braai because I've been invited to many and I want to see what they're like. I want to go to a rugby game in South Africa. And then I feel like third slowly is becoming, I want to go fishing just to see what fish are about. Now Joseph Dweber throws the ball in, nicely taken there by Marvin Ori, and who has made the most tackles out of any Stormers player. Dragged down, no collapse in my view, says Yako Piper. Right, Herschel Yankees goes off to the right to Stephen Kitsoff. It's within a couple of meters now. Joseph Dweber once again drops the head. Herschel Yankees goes off to Lillian Zuss. He's knocked the ball on, though. Right at the last moment. He was only a couple meters out from the line. Did end up getting it wrong. But I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. You guys all being here for this matchup. We have got plenty more URC action coming in the near future. We've got Sharks versus Leinster. Just inches around the corner. I blast the head off my fish. Now I have a dog, says Adam. I want to go to South Africa Ram Raid, says Marco. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any of those. The only raiding I would do is of the barbecue or the braai. I want to try one of those cheesy garlic rolls that someone mentioned a while ago. Long live the king, says Scrum Lesson there. Yeah, the coronation was on. I didn't actually know it was happening until my mum mentioned it. I feel like I'm really bad at knowing what's happening in the world. If you go to Cape Town, you go fishing for snook. Snook, is that how you say it? It's similar to barracuda. That sounds like a big fish. Like the biggest fish I've caught is probably about this. I would say somewhere around there. And hey, howdy, hey, y'all, says Grumlass. And man, these missed opportunities going to come back and bite the Stormers, says Ethan. Got issues far side. What they've just said, that is Stephen Kitsoff's side. Now, he actually got a little bit lucky earlier on, Stephen Kitsoff, because there was one that seemed like it was going to be a penalty against him that he did actually end up with it in his favour. Do the Kiwi lads like kiwi? As in kiwi fruit? Kiwi fruit's not too bad. If you get the right one, I actually prefer the yellow kiwi fruit over the green because they're normally a little bit sweeter. If we're talking about the little bird kiwi, we're not allowed to eat those. They are considered not sacred. What's the word? Not endangered. Something. They are considered protected. I can't think of the word now. Now 5 meters out from the line. Bros Papia feeding the ball in for the Bulls. Now it's going to be rolling back there. Awkward scrum. Both sides slightly wheeling around. Bros Papia goes back to Johan Hussen. Once again, has no option but to kick this one downfield into touch. So they're alive. Yeah. And Kiwis love eating the kiwi bird or the bird kiwi. It's a delicacy. You get the best seafood in the world in Cape Town. National treasure. Hello, everyone. Says Cider, welcome in. 1% chance of a draw in this contest, which is fair enough seeing as it is a quarterfinal. And really, it can't end in a draw. Good morning from Colombia. I go the Stormers, says Neil. Stormers seem to have support all around the world. It's pretty awesome to see. Now, I should mention that they will be playing up against Connacht if they win this game. Hey, Katie Dixon, hope you are very well, sis. I love you and your fam. There's Marco there. Nice low tackle made on Evan Ruiz. At the moment, we haven't seen a huge amount of points throughout this first half, but there have certainly been some good moments in the breakdown, including that one. Another penalty one this time. It was Heinrich Lowe who gets over the ball and receives the not releasing penalty. South Africa eating hippos. There's Michael there. Or hippos eating South Africans. Hippos are dangerous things, man. They just go for it, don't they? We watched a video of a hippo running. You could have nightmares for days. Looking at that, filling up Greenpoint quite nicely. Says cited. And the time at the moment, it is 32 minutes through in this contest. And also loads of South Africa expats, isn't it? I guess. Also chance of the URC last year. Maybe help. That is true. Looking to be defending champs. Go on and get themselves maybe another URC title victory. That would be very impressive indeed. Do you know squashes from Connacht, an island in centre? No idea about the squashies. I know that squash is a game played with a flat ball and a couple rackets. Never played squash. I was actually supposed to for a school activity. I played tennis in the morning. I was supposed to play squash in the afternoon because it was like the days where you get to do some fun stuff. Like some people were doing like paintball and PlayStation. That's a brilliant ball. Ruan now picks it up nicely. Now looking for the offload. Finds Diamani. No hands. Pink is the call from Jaco Piper using his big boy voice to call out that one. Now Steven Kitsoff runs down the wing. 10 meters out from the line. Yankees goes back across to Evan Ruiz. Breaks through one tackle. 5 meters now separates the Stormers from their second try. Cut out pass. Dion Foree. One more. And Lillian Zas, just the numbers game. Too much. And the Stormers get their second. And the fireworks are going off in Cape Town at the moment. The crowd are absolutely loving it. And Lillian Zas, 15 career tries at the moment. But yeah, I was supposed to do squash for a school activity, and the teacher never showed up. So I just sat outside a squash court for like an hour. So it wasn't very well organised, I don't think. Oh, you play tennis, Hamish? Are you any good? What kind of style are you going for? The old Hamish Federer? No, I'm no good at tennis. Like I'm probably better than someone who's never held a tennis racket in their life. But like I don't play consistently. That was only back at school that I did end up having a bit of tennis. Although I do remember playing tennis at school for PE in bare feet on a concrete court, and I ended up with a blister the size of my big toe underneath my big toe from all the sliding that I did and how hot the court was. So that wasn't a good idea. I should have worn shoes. Now, Money Libok, 351 career points at the moment for that man, sitting 35 minutes through, and the Stormers have got themselves a very handy 15-0 lead over the Bulls. Now, striking them quite nicely today, Marnie Libok. That is another successful kick. So they will now sit 17-0 over the Bulls. Blazing the cones. Yes, now we're talking. Rugby plus cones equals heaven. I'm afraid that the Bulls must up their game quite a lot. There's Alfie. And did you hear, every time you hit the tennis ball? Or do I yell it? No, not quite, no. I don't hit it hard enough. Me and Mum played tennis about 3 months ago, somewhere around there, around Christmas time. We decided to go down to the courts. My problem is I'm too nice. Like, no matter what I do, I'm too nice in sport, and it's kind of annoying because, like, I was hitting all the nice shots to my mum, and she used to be, like, a tennis champion in the local area, so she'd just be smacking them back at me as, like, way harder, and all I do is just tap it back and then just get smashed. I wonder what excuses Jack White's planning. And sup, says Kingsley, welcome in. Sounds like hardcore tennis, proper job. Yeah, my respect, says Ethan there. We could put a GoPro on our head perhaps and play some tennis. That would actually be quite a cool video to see what we can do there. Maybe both of us have GoPro on the head. So nice textbook New Zealander, says Ethan. I mean, all you got to do is watch one of those cricket videos. I apologise for hitting fielders with the cricket ball, even though I'm batting. And biltong is like beef jerky, or biltong over beef jerky. Now will be Johan Rubelo with the ball. 22 metres out now from the Stormers line. This is when the Bulls need to try and fire back. Because if they don't, could be just a little bit too little too late. Currently, Ambrose Papia spanking the number 5 there, Marvarori, on the wrong side. So he's going to be penalised. I'll say, hee-ha. Time for a braai and a brandy. Sounds like a good combination. Now 37 minutes through. I believe that Chris Smith will be kicking this one for the corner. It seems like the reasonable option at this stage of the match. And they just need some points, plain and simple. If they don't get them soon, they will be in huge trouble and the possibility of quite a one-sided affair. I'm just interested to know, in my game, at halftime, okay, at halftime in my game that I was playing of the Stormers versus the Bulls, it was 19-0 and the Bulls had a yellow card. That is kind of weird, because that's quite close to what it is currently, unless the Bulls score now, of course. Go the Stormers. There's Orson there. And I had a braai once. I love that long sausage bottle with something yummy. There's Marco, and getting caught out doesn't count as hitting the fielder with the ball. A big love, brother, and everyone. There's Sebastian. It's quite funny. My first 6 I ever hit actually came from a fielder dropping the ball over the boundary, which was very lucky. Now that's just 1 meter shorter line for the Bulls round the side here. Must be their moment, flat and over the line. The Bulls have scored, and that is the try that they definitely needed before the end of the first half. And hey, Seba, on your brother. Hope you are doing well. Big love to you, mate. There's Marco there. Wait, there's a foot mark that moved the line. That's because they drove monster trucks over the pitch a week ago. And someone thought that that was a good idea. Okay, there's a foot mark on the line, so they just want to double check that this ball is over, which I believe it should be. Shouldn't have any issues whatsoever here. What are they deciding? Carl Brink went round the side. That looked short initially, but then it was pushed back. This is going to be tricky. No try pass went 2 meters forward. Lies, says Gareth there. And he jinxed it, Hamish, says Grant. I certainly did. I was so close with the score as well. Big love, Johnny and Katie, 2 proper OGs of this channel. Says Sebastian. Yeah, we got quite a few of the old school ones popping in every once in a while, which is absolutely awesome. That pitch looks absolutely terrible. Yeah, whoever's idea it was to drive monster trucks around on this pitch before the game was played, like only a week ago, they need a pay decrease, I would say, and go the box. Says Michael. Right, they're looking at this one 15 times. Now, if they can't find clear, conclusive evidence, they'd go with the on-field decision of try, I believe. If a fly loses its wings, is it now called a walk? That's a great question. No. Right. Kyle Brink, they are going to look at this one 87 times just to be sure. And that angle's not going to show it either. They're going to need about 15 other angles to try and work it out. And big love, Grant and Gareth. Right. He has no conclusive evidence of if that ball's over the line. So the try does stand. And we have another Hudba waddling about on the pitch every week. We don't need monster trucks too. Send Brink off, yellow for playing for the Bulls. Says Gareth there. Kyle Brink himself the try. Now 1 minute remaining in this half. So they might look to just close out this time. He's got 48 seconds, which would actually leave 1 second remaining on the clock. So they might just go for it. Is it going to be called a walk because it's walking without wings? Says Adam. Gone over nicely for Hussein. And I'll make the score 17 points to 7. Also twerks in OG, says Scrumless. And also, hey, 7, not California, says Fleshin. Also, hello, boys, from a pub in sunny California. Or Cowley, not California. I was going to say you travelled quite a bit there, Fleshin, compared to the last time we saw you. No rain in England. At all right now, hey, says Gareth. Now, the Stormers kicking this one off. Oh, there's a collision between two Bulls players. They didn't realize that both of them were jumping for the ball. Curtly Arinza with those cat-like agility skills, managing to dodge his teammate. Now Ambrose Papia goes back to Mako van Staren. We haven't really seen him with the ball in hand too much. Is that water you're drinking? It certainly is. We've already done 3 matches. That's 4, but that's 3 matches of rugby today. So, yeah. It's going to be one that the voice might end up disappearing. Hamish, do you still read the nonsense or avoid it completely? No, I still read it in my head. Sometimes, oh, yeah, they're going to kick that ball and touch it. Will be halftime. 17 points to 7. Yeah, I quite enjoy some of the nonsense. Sometimes it gives you a good chuckle. And Lancs and Surrey both raining. And it's been spitting rain on and off all day here in Ireland. Says Richard. Oh, I wonder whether or not at the Aviva it's going to be raining. Because if it is, I don't know who that favours. Probably still Leinster. I'm sure that they won't be enjoying the rain, but it won't be as bad as, I guess, a gale force wind taking place there. But it is currently halftime, 17 points to 7. To be honest, ending at halftime a lot closer than it could have been. The Bulls have done well to be able to get themselves that last-minute try. Marnie Lebok, he's been kicking well today, 3 from 3. So we can't blame that. Hamish, how do people know your name? Says Adam. Well, that is a great question. I think the easiest answer is one day when a few of them were on the live stream, someone said, "What's your name?" And I told them. And then everyone's kind of remembered it from that stage. And then those people use it in the chat. And then everyone goes, "Oh, his name must be Hamish." So that's kind of how it works in our case. And also, I think Johnny knows it because he had to send us a package in the mail. So he had to kind of know who he was going to be sending it to. But I think at that stage, he already knew my name. He might not have known my last name, though. In fact, no, he might have just addressed it the Kiwi lads. And yeah, I think he did. I think I've still got the envelope somewhere that it came in. And never underestimate Jake White's team and come back hard in the second half. Says cited. No, also, we're just a fam damily brother, says Grumlass there. And yeah, hopefully the fan damily is going to be very keen for a couple more games. We've got 2 more tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The rugby gauntlet is back, something that we haven't had to say in a very long time. And we've drawn all 3 of our games. We might draw this one as well because of the rain. Bloody county cricket in April. And also, I agree with you, is the mob. And yeah, but yeah, they are just showing that first try of Diamani. It was a nice one, using that backline well. We're going to quickly go and have a look at some of the stats to do with this game, though. One of the Stormers did seem to run out of puff in their Harlequins game, says Ethan. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. And any Jake White team can suck. Okay. Interesting, Grant. Now, I have to say, once again, never heard anyone describe something like that before. So you've done that, I guess. And live chat, top messages, 148, says Adam. What YouTube saying it? I still don't know how YouTube works, to be honest. Even though I am what some would consider a YouTuber, maybe, I still don't know how this stuff works. I just click live, go live, and then we're good. I never hold a glass like this. I don't know why I'm holding it like this. It feels very weird. It doesn't feel natural. Grant is speaking the truth, Hamish. And Grant can be very descriptive. I can see that, yeah. See, I was wondering where it was going at sucking, and then big fat chocolate, and I was like, okay, interesting. And then all of a sudden, the donkeys got involved in the scenario. That is nicely done. Oh, the Stormers are just showing their highlights so far in this first half. We have seen 60% possession in favour of the Stormers. Clean breaks 3-0. Then we have also seen 12 defenders beaten for the Stormers compared to the 6 of the Vodacom Bulls. 3 clean breaks, 1 try score for the Bulls, 2 for the Stormers. Defence, 54 tackles made by the Bulls, 28 by the Stormers. Would love to see Dan Duplessis and Zus get around in the box jersey. Great players. They are, and they just don't really get that chance. I think Dan Duplessis, to be honest, if we see a couple injuries, such as a Damien Delende out, and then maybe one more, I feel like Dan Duplessis wouldn't be too far off getting the opportunity. I don't know whether or not they would go with him, though, or whether they'd maybe turn towards Ume Zulu, they did go with last time out of that Stormers side. Werner Koch, I don't know whether he'd have any more Springbok time in him. I think more than likely they'd leave him out there on the wing, put it on a shirt, it says Scrumless, and seems to be seems in keeping with the coronation that is going on. Is coronation still going on? Really? Is it like a whole day thing? I guess it would be. It's a big day out. Everyone shows up from all around the world. I think Richie McCaw's at it. But yeah, it seems like a long, long track. Be able to go through it. And who's the front runners to take over? I would take Jacques Neighbour after the World Cup. There's been a couple names thrown in the hat. I know people have still said if we've got Rassi Erasmus available, we should use him rather than anyone else. Werner Koch is too mental to be in the box squad, says Grant. And my guy Weber has got his line out throws in order, it seems, this side. He has improved drastically over the last 12 months. So that was something that was really letting him down in the Springboks environment. But he's gone away. He's been working on them majorly. And yeah, you can just see a big improvement in the way that he goes with those throws. Yeah, not quite peak Bok level though. I'm ahead and Creole Utility. Well, ahead and Creole Utility. Then maybe Dan Duplessis at 12 at Smashball. Dan Duplessis is more of a 13 for me, says Ethan. And there, and Rassi for the next decade, says Marco. Be an exciting decade, wouldn't it? And yeah, it's still going on, says Richard there. Looking so far, most tackles made by the Bulls was Johan Rolla, who did manage to make 9. Ruben van Heerden made 5 for the Stormers. Most meters made is actually Johan Husson. That surprises me. I would have thought that Money Lebok would have been right up there. The most meters made out of any player. And yeah, I'm normally harsh on him, but fair dues to Weber lad. Great improvement so far today. We were 4'5", solid muscle. There's Marco there. Yeah, he's a tank of an individual, though he wasn't quite able to get that ball down earlier on up against Imbros Papia. Was able to just narrowly hold him up. I should mention the next game that we are covering on the channel. It will be taking place at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. We are starting at 3:50 a.m. So be sure to get there nice and early. We're going to be looking through the squads, looking at all of the information that we need heading in to that next quarterfinal matchup. So the winner of this game does go on to face Connacht. And then the next matchup, I believe, the winner of it between the Leinster and the Sharks will take on the winner of Glasgow versus Munster. And whoever has amazing potential for the international games, says Gareth. Captain Kulisi might not make it to the World Cup as well. Lots of uncertainty going into the World Cup, says Cited. Yeah, a lot of teams at the moment losing big players. There was also a question mark for Eben Etzebeth at one point. I think he is now back in the running for being able to come back for the All Blacks. But the likes of a Sever Reese was now out of World Cup contention. And yeah, anyone who gets injured now, unfortunately for them, it's just too close to that World Cup. They had quite a lot of TMO checking in that first half. Adam's had a right fun time on his keyboard. He's actually gone through and tapped every button across the lines. Although it's interesting the way that you've done it, because you've done the letters and then you've gone over to the pad. So I'm wondering whether or not maybe you're on a phone, Adam. You've done it that way. All right, Sever Reese, stuff lost for the ABs. Ethan. But yeah, any other players that teams are losing from now all about finding that next replacement player, isn't it? So, like, for Sever Reece on that right wing, I actually don't know who the All Blacks are gonna go with. I'd love to see Sean Stevenson get the opportunity. See if Khaleesi doesn't make it, I'll put in Dion Fourie. I feel like he's gonna be there anyway, doesn't he? The way that he's gone in this URC competition, he's already got himself a turnover in this game. Like, he is a class player. So, yeah, he's gotta get that spot. Although I guess that's in the starting lineup, isn't it? I feel like they'll probably still try and find a spot for Fourie somewhere in that loose forward trio, maybe 7 just for the sake of having him out there. Okay, lads, I got to make like a fetus and head out. Got to grab brekkie with my mom before we watch the Exeter London Irish game. Enjoy the good day. Or enjoy, everyone. Sorry, that's not what you said. Everyone, have a good day. And remember, white front to back. Says Scrumless there. Words to live by. Welcome. I was going to say welcome, but yeah, hopefully you have a nice time with your mum or your brekkie. Take your scrumless and Clucker Smith. It's a great bench option because he covers so many positions. And once the Weber sorts his darts, he'll be there and go the Blue Bulls. Barrett or McKenzie, Barrett all day long, says Michael. Always front to back. And the good news is, if Paris is burning, that might delay the World Cup and injured players might be available. You never know, France is quite lit at the moment with protests, says Cited. And now he will still be Moster of Peter Steph Toy, extra line out jumper, says Ethan. So yeah, there's plenty of options in there for the Springboks, and we love all. And I put a new 4Gs on a Jeep. Did you? I caught a fish the other day. Is that the same type of thing we're going for? I might have a picture of me catching the fish, in fact, or I might not have a picture of the fish being caught, but I might have a picture of the fish being dead. I don't know whether or not I can show on YouTube. If I say that I'm a YouTube fishing channel, I can, but if I don't say that, I don't think I'm allowed to show a picture of a fish that is dead. So I will not. I will keep it a secret. I will not show you a fish. And why aren't these protests in France? Or when aren't there protests in France? And Truyé, tough one between Quack and Dion Fourie. Both should be in the mix, says Ethan. Now it sounds like the music is starting back up, which means the second half is just around the corner. Hamish, I told you Chisel and Colby will make a return to Toulouse soon in it, says Knowledge. Make a separate channel. I am considering a fishing channel, I'll be honest. I've been keen on the idea for a little while. We've actually got quite a bit of footage. And who knows, maybe if you guys are keen on a fishing channel and that is something that we feel we can actually maintain, maybe we could do it. I've seen a protest in France. They were wheeling along a barbecue while protesting, had lamb chops and sausages on the go while fighting for their rights, world leaders and protesting. Says Ethan, well, you got to eat, don't you? Like at the end of the day, you can protest all you want, but if you're hungry, you're hungry. You got to have some tucker in the belly. That lady is stroking her belly, doing a bit of air guitar. Everyone is doing. There must be a challenge that's like do the best air guitar or something like that. I have to say they are all doing a pretty rough job. And at the moment, I can see a tractor outside my house. Might be George. George enjoys driving a tractor every once in a while. Yeah, they've got everyone playing a bit of air guitar to AC/DC Thunder. And Knowledge Colby plays for Toulon, not Toulouse. I was waiting for someone to say that. Now, the Stormers making their way back out onto the field, the final 40 minutes of this quarterfinal. So now the big question is, who's going to walk away with the victory? Currently, it is sitting 17 points to 7. In the game that I did of the Bulls versus the Stormers were able to win it 36 points to 7. So let's see whether or not that is correct. But in my prediction, I said that the Stormers would win by 10. And also, as long as you got me, and also stroking her valley, nice one. Says Michael, and Stormers, y'all lick a ding. Says JP. Right, kicking off, it will be Mani Libok. Get us back underway for the second half of this URC fixture. Only an hour and a half away, ladies and gentlemen, from the Leinster versus Sharks contest. It is also going to be taking place. It is kicked up high from Mani Libok. Now nicely taken. I believe that was Ramvermak. And I wish to do a video of blindfold fishing. I'd love to see you try and bash a fish's head in blind. The thing is, Grant, If you saw a video of me trying to, I'm not going to word it as bash a fish's head in, but if you saw a video of me trying to decease a fish, that's bad enough. Like there was a fish that just kept on going, even though I was doing everything like by the book of do this slice, give it a knock on the head. It was still flapping, and I was like, "What is this fish made of?" So that's on GoPro of me panicking because the fish just kept on going. Now the tractor's wheel is coming off. If you come visit South Africa, are you braaiing at my spot? Says Shalabi. Yeah, I've been invited to quite a few braais. I'll have to. That would actually be an absolutely awesome series. I don't know how I would get a sponsor to sign up for me to do this, but imagine a series where I go around and go to a braai at each of the subscribers' houses who have offered me a braai. I feel like it could go on like food TV or something. We go around to different braais and we give them scores out of 10 and see which braai is the best in South Africa. Series idea. There you go. Now, Ambrose Papia goes back across to Chris Smith. The Onfari trying to get the turnover wasn't quite on the ball. A lot of the fish went down fighting. It did. And I still wasn't sure if it was down by the time I had finished all the activities. Like even a bloody knife through the skull, it was like, nah, you can't stop me. Now, nice kick downfield, awkward bounce. Oh, that's a head knock. That's really bad for the Bulls. There's going to be a stoppage in play at some point very soon because a player has taken an almighty head knock. He might have been knocked unconscious. But now the Stormers, yeah, they are going to be stopping for a bit of obstruction, but the penalty goes the way of the Stormers. He caught the Dion Faria fish. I think I did. He won't like braai after all that braai, says Clint. So it would be like 2 weeks of just braaiing after one after the other. Get absolutely stocked up on food. I'd end up 100 kgs by the time I was leaving and get back to New Zealand and just have like fish and chips or something. Money has improved ever since the Springbok debut. We have to thank Rashly. Says knowledge, right? They are bringing on the stretcher. Unfortunately, Johan Goosen, he was reaching out for it and yeah, hit under the back of the neck, and Goosen did not look good straight away. And you have to be, or you'd have to have a day or two stop over in Muscat, fishing on my boat and a braai, chatting some rugby and cricket. That sounds ideal. So whereabouts is Oman compared to Oman's up in Asia? Is it? Maybe. We'd have to go possibly. It's doable. I like the fish didn't turn you over them, mate. Yeah, I was worried near the end. I should never criticise a South Africa braai. You're not making it back to New Zealand. Yeah, so maybe I won't do a ranking of 1 to 10. It might not be a smart idea next to Dubai. Dubai's nice. I don't think I could afford a single thing in Dubai. Probably not even like a fancy bagel at a shop. And I was like, Goosen has a history of head knocks. Hope he is okay. Says cited. Yeah, so they've taken him off the field now. Well, they are in the process of doing so. They are rolling him onto his side. Just trying to make sure he is going to be all right. I'll braai you a fish, a licky, a snook. There's Clint there. I feel like braaiing a fish that you've just caught would be pretty incredible. Hamish, you still have fish and chips in Cape Town? Will change, or you should have fish and chips in Cape Town. Will change your life. And even Elon Musk's mum came to South Africa just for a good old South African braai. Says knowledge and sleeping with hot South African blondes. Says Marco. Yeah, I don't know how that would go. I think I'd end up catching more fish than I do end up finding lady friends. Right, this doesn't look too good at the moment. Is that? It looks like they are just strapping him in, but that looked like an oxygen tank, or at least like the parts that go near the oxygen tank, like a few tubes. So I hope that it's nothing too serious for Johan Goosen. I think it's all precautionary. And Oman is in the Middle East, not far away from me. Says Grant there. Because whereabouts are you, Grant? I feel bad for not remembering exactly where you were. It's going to come back to me in a second, but until then, it's going to really annoy me. And Borro's in Pretoria, quite diverse food all over South Africa, mate. Cape Town, Durban, and Joburg, quite different foods, even on the braai. Yeah, they are just taking all precautions to get Johan Goosen off the field safely. Dion Forrie went over. Just ended up checking on him. Well, but he is going to be put on the stretcher on the cart as well. And then driven off the field. The winner of this match will host Connacht in the semi-finals. So that is unfortunate for Connacht. They have to travel to South Africa and must be next to the UAE and the Bin King's Kingdom, says Sebastian. I love us South Africans in the comments. It's great to see because that's the thing. During Super Rugby, we have maybe one or two South Africans popping in, but during these live streams, we get to see that other side of the audience that we have that we don't get to see during Super Rugby. So it's quite nice. We get to see two different groups. Johan Goosen is made of glass, says Grant. Now, kicking out in front here for the Stormers. It's going to be Mani Lebok. Kicker successful, so that will now make the score 20 points to 7 in favour of the home side. 13-point lead, so it's not quite enough, and Joe Berg has the best Bry mix. My perspective, says Knowledge. Go for a Cape Town snook. Those boys know what they are doing, says Shalaby. I feel like I'm going to have to start taking up like marathon running or something. Like some sort of like sprinting so that I burn off all the calories I would consume if I went to South Africa. Would be a lot of fun though. Let's get downfield from Ruan now. Doesn't find touch. And also Snokes, too damn bony. I haven't been on a Super Rugby stream in ages. Got to stop waking up arsehole in the morning, says Sebastian. But don't worry, we've still got plenty of late night streams as well, Sebastian, coming. So we don't end up missing during the week. I should mention, though, the sevens next week. That's going to be hectic because we're going to have sevens live streams flat out. We're going to have URC semi-finals taking place as well. And then alongside that, I think there is the Gallagher Premiership semi-finals taking place. How are the Quins going, Sebastian? They need to win their game up against Leicester, don't they, to even have a chance of making the top 6? Or how does it work in the Premiership? Is it the top 8 or the top 6 go through? We're here for a rugby debating, guys. Talk about the Brian another time. There's Knowledge. Although you did talk about Cheslin Colby and the team that he did used to play for before transferring a year and a half ago. Now, nice run from David Creel. Bit of a counter ruck there from Dion Forrie. And the turnover is good for the Stormers. Franz Maharba plays at half-back. Herschel Yankees passes over the top. Lillian Zas, nice inside ball. Goes off to Damien Willemse. Joburg has the best nothing. And also we have got there more talking in these chats in rugby. Top 4, I've made peace with the fact that this isn't our season. Yeah, I guess I just answered the question when I said it was the Premiership semi-finals. Nice run from Joseph Weber. There's going to be play on. Nicely claimed by Chris Smith. Now off to Kurtley Arinsa. Tries to go up the middle. Gets back up to his feet. Is allowed to go again. Dan Duplessis makes the tackle on him the second time. And the penalty. Evan Ruiz does win it. Just doing very well at the moment in the breakdowns. Weather is starting to turn in Cape Town. Might have a bit of rain. Says Cited. 45 minutes through. This game is flying by. Even though we have the stoppage of about 5 minutes for Johan Goosen to go off the field, this game is still going to be over before we know it. Next live stream, like I mentioned, it is going to be the matchup taking place between two very exciting sides. It will be the Sharks versus Leinster. The South African blonde girls are smoking hot, says Marco. I'm trying to remember what a South African, they're probably like the rest of the ladies around the world a little bit. That's the thing. George is brilliant at spotting people in the crowd. Oh, Dion Forrie is actually going to be making his way off the field. Now, I believe that this is strategic. Even if he's picked up a little injury here, Dion Forrie, they've decided to take him off nice and early so that he's going to be well rested for the next game. Mani Lebok now goes off the run now. Damien Willemse ball in the outside to Lillian Zas. Little chip in behind, attempted. Not going to work out for him. Picked up by Stedman Hans. Only 15 metres out from the line now. Won the Prem in 2021. Made the playoffs in 2022. But a wee nice break this year. There's Sebastian, and the faces slowly change disappointment. They are at least they are not bankrupt like a couple of the other teams that went under this year. I mean, at least they're not the Wasps. It's one good thing. Now Lillian's us. Nice ball. And Ambrose Papia bumped off and the tackle. He looks like he's a little bit ginger getting back to his feet there. Now Yankees goes across again. Valimza, forward pass. Quick hands from Willie Engelbrecht into the hands of Angelo Davids, who scores it. But it is going to be going upstairs to check that forward pass that we called straight away. I go with the South African Indians. 10 out of 10s. There's knowledge there. Right, they want to check this pass to see whether or not it's forwards or backwards. Commentator is saying it was backwards. I mean, I will definitely say if I'm wrong. And I might be all right. In that case, licorice all sorts in South Africa for the ladies, all varieties. We're seeing quite a few angles that don't show that pass. It did look flat though. And in fact, no, I was looking at the wrong pass. It's the pass from Valimza to Engelbrecht that I thought was forward. Oh, we have money, but money doesn't guarantee happiness, unfortunately, says Sebastian. Right, they've said that it's fine. It looks like Angelo Davids may have hurt his knee or ankle in the process of putting that ball down. It did seem like he gripped in just like he was one of those big tires on the monster trucks. We were there last week, and I think it is starting to rain maybe. Just looks a little bit darker there at the ground. Go the Stormers, so proud of you. There's Chala B. Tell you what, my URC game that I played on Rugby 22 might not be a mile off what score ends up happening in this match. And that one, it was 36 points to 7. Hopefully TMO has the Weber vision. Fair pass, mate. There's Ethan there. Enjoy a butter chicken or a good tikka masala. Or masala. Here's Marco. You got butter chicken in a jar is decent down here. I can't remember the brand name, unfortunately, but it's good. Good little hands. I think the commentators are possibly going for the Stormers. No mention of the very flat pass in the build-up of that one. But we play on. Nicely taken by Ruan now. Just outside of the 22, so won't be able to kick this one out on the full. Still can give it an almighty heave, though, and it looks like they're actually going to go for the cross kick attempt here for Mani Lebok. Beautiful cross kick, but it's going to be knocked on by Lilian Zas. No, there's nothing wrong in our fellow season. Scarlett's been in one for years. You got the Stormers, great job in the first half. Right here for the food they're debating. Says knowledge. And also we have got there, Marco, are you all right? Says Lawrence. And also, wow, all the hard kicks on the angle. They all going over. Interesting one, Gareth. I don't know whether I'm allowed to read that one out. It's not too bad, though, is it? Our scrum feed on the halfway line. Will be once again the Bulls' ball. 30 minutes remaining, and they are down by 20 points. They need 3 converted tries to get back into the lead and possibly have themselves a home URC quarterfinal. It's not too easy to do, though, up against the Stormer side who don't like conceding tries too often, as we have seen throughout their URC competition. Now, ball available from Ambrose Papia. Chris Smith, short ball to Harold Foster. Does end up running right over the top of Herschel Yankees. And Lauren's far from it, bro, says Marco. And also no better set for girls than Cape Town, says Grant Swartz. 40 metres out. Ambrose Papia. Oh, that cross, nice work in the breakdown by the Bulls to keep it on their side. That one they say has gone backwards to Heinrich Low. Tackled by Steve Kittu. Picked up high by Chris Smith. Having to wait for this one to come down. No, not quite taking it as cleanly as he would have liked. So the Stormers back in position. Diamani goes across to Dan Duplessis now. Damien Valimza assault the dummy as if he was going to kick, but it is going to be a knock on there against the Bulls. Another scrum feed. No better South African girls than Salford. I don't see the Bulls winning this one, says Knowledge. Yeah, I think they're going to struggle big time. in this one, and 29 hot, 30 auntie, says Gareth. Although George seems to like the older ladies, he's been telling me lately. Taking a liking for a mature individual. Man, I look pale. Need to go out in the sun more, but it's winter. It's hard to do. No better South African girls. I know I read that one, and well, Bulls, what's going on? Just the streak continuing, unfortunately. Anytime that they've gone head to head up against the Bulls lately, it has been, or sorry, up against the Stormers lately, has been the Stormers being able to walk away the victors. Nope, nope, no better than the good old KZN. All fed in by Herschel Yankees. Both front rows have gone down. It's going to be play on. Money Libok goes across to Dan Duplessis, kicks it in behind. Taken nicely inside of the 22 now, Richard Creel. Sorry, David Creel, I should say. It's a name that we've probably not said too much throughout this live stream. George the Milf Hunter. That's one way of describing it. And go the Stormers go. Nicely taken, though, by Kurtley Arinse. Now taken down by Herschel Yankees. David Creel, a man who I've hardly mentioned. Ron Nokia dragged down, but I believe he's over on. Yes, he is in the Bulls. They do get themselves their second try in the matchup. Absolutely correct, says Grant. And also, I think we can conclude that there are worldly girls all over South Africa. And show the game, says Brylan. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to. My mum said so. Now, currently, 53 minutes through, 27 points to 12. Stormers with a nice little lead, but it has slightly shrunk a little bit more. Dear me, Stormers, sort yourselves out. And also, you just know George would love that as the nickname, the Milf Hunter. He would. I feel like if you guys call him that on the next one, he will be smiling ear to ear. Right, they want to go upstairs and check this one as well. I guess with it being a final, every decision is crucial. They are just checking this one. So Ruan Nokia is in control of the ball. They're just checking to see whether or not there was some sort of separation. And there, maybe right at the last moment for Ruan Nokia. Also, we have got, I love how Damien Valimza is always giving his best performance no matter what the occasion is. His knowledge. So he spins round with Willie Engelbrecht on his back, Ruan Nokia. And as he reaches out, he loses control. Oh, that's probably no try, unfortunately. Unless, okay, so they're saying there's no downward pressure. It's going to be a goal line dropout. That will be frustrating for the Bulls to have that opportunity to get themselves the try, to get back into the contest that little bit more. But unfortunately, the try will be disallowed. And come on, Stormers, go, 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 Stormers. Also, we have got there, and the wheels came off. And there cannot possibly be any pretty girls in Pretoria when all the girls are related to each other. They probably all have web feet and not body of water, or if not, body of water anywhere close by. We once found a frog in our hallway. I know that that's not something completely related, but we don't live near a swamp or anything. There was just this real miniature frog. I have no idea where it came from. We put it back outside, so it's probably dead now. Either a cat would have eaten it and hallucinated for a little bit, or maybe it just grew old. How long do frogs live? Probably a little while. Eat a few flies, don't they? But that's bad bacteria for humans, so maybe flies eventually will get the better of the frog. Now short ball. Vermaak charges forward through the tackle of Evan Ruas. Now that's a miss, says sided. Yeah, big opportunity gone there, unfortunately. Now kicked him behind. It's going to be a knock on there from Angelo Davids. Is that the right score? No. It is not updated to say that that was a no try for the Bulls as of yet. Was there a Frenchman in your hallway? Not that I know of. No. Although I would wonder how he got there. And also, I said this morning Stormers by 20, says Evan, and that throw probably came from Pretoria. Betting on this match, and now it's a miss. There we go. It has now updated. Once again, man has brought his Bulls flag. He looked angry. You're like the kind of guy that you don't want to go up to after the game and say, haha, your team lost, or else you might end up waking up in a hospital bed. Still a good crowd, though, at this game. Angelo David, stop dipping your hands in butter before every game, mate. See, I always say it about his Sevens career. I feel like he was so good for the blitz box because he had Selvin Davids doing all the heavy lifting and just setting him up for try after try. Sounds harsh, but it's kind of true for him. Now, Ambrose Papier goes back. Going to be kicked him on by Kurtley Arinsir. Almost gets it over the head of Damien Valimza, but he does backtrack. Manages to take the mark. Relieve just that little bit more of the pressure. But currently 55 minutes through. Both sides back to 15 after that yellow card we did see a little bit earlier on for the Bulls of Kyle Brink. Totally agree. Selwyn David's the director of it all. There's Ethan there. Because, yeah, that's the thing. Anyone can look good when receiving a pass 5 meters out from the line and running it in. Or chasing a kick because they've got a bit of pace. It's what I think happened. It was probably a Kylian Mbappe Frenchman in your hallway. And it's because the frogs are in Hamish's hallway. And there as well. There are no frogs in Pretoria. It depends on which side you live. So yeah, because they're all on my hallway. I've got a long hallway as well, so probably I don't know how does a frog get in a house though? Like I swear we don't normally have the door open or anything. So maybe the cat brought it in back when he was alive. He wouldn't have brought it in now because he's in the garden. But yeah, maybe back when he was alive, he just brought in a frog and was like, "Yeah, I'll let it go. It can just chill in the hallway." Now another penalty goes the way of the Bulls. That is for collapsing the maul against the Stormers. Kylian Mbappe, the fifth Ninja Turtle. Chris Smith kicking this one towards the touchline. It does go out about 5 meters out from the line. Once again, another good chance for the Bulls to get themselves just a little bit further back into this contest. Although the Stormers are still definitely sitting in that box seat. Go through to the semi-finals where they will take on Connacht, which is a bit of an interesting game. I feel like that's one that people probably didn't anticipate as what would be happening. Arinsa giving his all to get back into the match. He isn't being supported, says Knowledge. Now only a few meters out from the line, 5 to be exact. The Bulls. The ball available for Heinrich Lowe. We're next to the touchline, so you can hear the slapping of players as they end up colliding. Now Vermaak almost got held up by the Stormers. 3 players need to roll out of the way there. They did not. Now around the side again, Heinrich Lowe. He's very keen to get himself a try. I think Kyle Brink is also the same. Another pick and go there from the Bulls. Ball available. Kyle Brink has a crack. He's gone straight into Franz Malharbe, who's just laying next to it, diving out for the line. I think that was on the line. But they are going to be playing on just for now. He did decide to recycle it instead. Now off to the left-hand side. Bulls, another good chance. Getting flipped over there. Ranoki and Papier just manages to get it out in time. Now has a snipe to the short side. He's got pace as well. Ambrose Papier and scores the try for the Bulls. They did have the penalty advantage anyway. Given up, they need Rassi. And that Connacht game was tight at the end. Could have gone either way. And also, yeah, I did expect a bit more from the Bulls. The Bulls look like they've given up, says Grant. Although one player who's been working hard throughout this game is Ambrose Papier. He's just got himself the try. We're a little bit closer now. I can't remember what my prediction was. What was my prediction? I said that they'll win by 10. The Stormers by 10. More specifically, I actually said 6-10 in a prediction thingy. So that's not a very wide prediction window, I guess you could say. But I did it just in case. You never know. See how it ends up going. And the end of time's running down for the Bulls, says David. Also, Betty Boy Franz Malharbe doing big minutes for the round barrel. Smith now lining up the kick. This needs to go over because they were 3 converted tries down. That is 1 try. This conversion goes over. They are now 13 points behind. This is not the easiest kick for Chris Smith, I have to say, but he has got it straight over. Will now make the score 27 points to 14. So he starts prepping for the great Irish slaying the Sharks. There's Gareth there. 3 minutes left. There's Darwood. Only 3 minutes. We've got a little bit more time than that. We've got 23 at the moment. And are you going to do the Sharks game? Certainly are, Barry. And also the game after that between Munster and Glasgow. We have got 2 more games of the URC. We are currently sitting 3 a.m. here in New Zealand as well. So we're going to be staying up all night doing those games. Straight afterwards, going to sleep for about 4 hours, waking up, and then we've got a recording session tomorrow after that. So that will be fun. But you can't expect the Bulls to give, or to always give their best, just like all world-class rugby teams. There's knowledge. So the Bulls trying to ask for a penalty there. I said it's good. The turnover is strong from the Stormers, and now back on the counter-attack. Money Libok kicks it in behind. There was a slip there from one of the Bulls players, and Arinze has no choice but to just kick that one into touch. He was only 10 metres out, and Duplessis considered taking it quickly, and he does. No, not allowed to. It's the Stormers. I believe the Bulls were already at the line out, so that is what stopped the quick throw from being taken. Yeah, the score currently 27 points to 14. So Stormers get another try here. In the regular season, it would have been a bonus point. Fun fact, which is something that they got many times throughout that season. You need to get your sleep, Hamish. When do you ever sleep? I sleep when I'm not streaming, which on the weekends is not very often. But you get used to it. Like, it's 3 a.m. and I'm still feeling pretty good. I know I just yawned, so, you know. But, Chris Smith trying to take that one back. It's going to be another penalty going the way of the Stormers here. Marnie Libok considered taking that one quickly, but decides against it. Time at the moment is 61 minutes through this contest. Some fancy footwork's going on here. Says sighted. Joseph Weber sounds like they are actually going to be taking on the shot. This is a smart play from the Stormers. They know that the Bulls are slowly creeping just a little bit further back into the contest, so they need to extend it to more than 2 converted tries. Franz Mahabra had far too many braais and down plenty of castle lagers. His belly is a dead giveaway. Says Marco, I wonder how your mum always lets you. There's knowledge. It might be because I'm 23. I think that's probably why I'm allowed to make some decisions. But like, it's one of those ones that, in a way, like, this is my job to a certain extent, or one of my jobs that I have got. So it's just like working a night shift in a way, if that makes sense. Marnie Libok now lining up the kick, and can never have too many braais. Just a man of very fine taste, says Ethan. Kick from Libok is successful. So he's gone from not too great with the kicking over the last couple of weeks to all of a sudden he's getting 100%, which is something that someone mentioned earlier on that he needed to have. Now the score for the Stormers, 30 points. The Bulls on 14. And back to needing 2 converted tries and something for the Bulls to get back into the contest now. I wonder if they'd take the option of the 3 if it was available. And as I get all the Bud Light, give it to the Stormers. And also footwork would never help you pass Franz in it. I'm the only Stormers fan in the pub in Oxford. It's full of football fans, says Fleshin. Now rolling this ball back. Being told to use it. Seems like Stormers are back to slowing the game down just that little bit more, which is fair enough. At the end of the day, when you've got a lead like they do, you don't really need to panic. And taking the 3 was the correct call. You do earn money from your streams in it. I do indeed. Although, to be fair, every dollar that I've earned from the YouTube channel, I've put back into the YouTube channel. So I haven't actually theoretically walked away with much money. Like, the only money that I have used outside of the YouTube channel is the money that's donated when someone's like, get some KFC or something like that. So it's gone towards food. Other than that, whether it's a microphone or a cord or a green screen or anything like that, it's all just straight back into the Kiwi Lads enterprises. Eh? That's a nice word. Also, we have got the man, Marco. There's Lawrence, nice line break now, though. For Vermaak. Now, that's over the ball again. It's going to be the penalty one by the Stormers. It was Ruanel this time who managed to get him self the penalty. And always the Stormer says, Pierre, you have to price so much that you dies of heart disease at age 40. It's the only way to go, says Grant. And when last did the Bulls beat the Stormers will beat them 34 points to 14, says Antonio. The last time that they did actually beat them was 7 games ago. We have other rugby guys, says Knowledge. Although, to be fair, you were talking about YouTube earnings and whether or not my mum lets me stay up late, which I guess isn't really rugby related, is it, Knowledge? Okay, they want to go back and check this one. Okay, you know the tackle I'm talking about, so it's penalty only. Yep, Kitsoff knew that they might have been getting in trouble for that one. Maharaba will offer him half his lunch to win the race. He can pass up a month's worth of food, says Gareth. A lot of food. Go Stormers, go, says David. Anyone who's new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the game between Leinster and the Sharks that has taken place in only about 45 minutes time. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Also, if you are new to the channel, sure to hit that subscribe button anyway. We have got plenty more live streams coming up in the near future, including the Sevens next weekend. Should be very exciting. See how it does end up going. Yeah, you guys have been enjoying the stream. We've got plenty more coming. To be fair, we were bored. Says Knowledge there. So are you saying that it's okay for you to talk about other things, but if the others do, we have to concentrate on the game? Now, that ball hasn't come out, so the Stormers now once again end up with the scrum. You can see the frustration on the face of the Bulls. Every time they've gone for a line out, it has just ended up going wrong. Be careful, says Shalaby. 15 minutes. Time is flying by, and the Stormers will be very happy with where they currently sit with that 16-point lead ahead of their opposition. Ranokia just touching asking the touch judge about it. We've got a donation from Marco for your KFC, bro. Don't show Maharba, he'll eat it all. There's Marco in there. That's a fair statement, but thank you very much, Marco. Hugely appreciate it. We are going, believe it or not, well, we're not, I don't think we're going to KFC tomorrow, but we're actually going out for a meal tomorrow. Me, Daniel, and George. Just because we decided, like, it's been a little while since we've had, like, a sit-down proper meal with the lads. So, yeah, I think we're going out for tea. So that might actually go towards that. We probably end up getting KFC after if it's bad. That'll be George's idea. Yes, Hamish, bruv, because I'm the oldest member here, 4 months. Says Knowledge. Oh, I don't know about that. Marco's been here for almost 4 years, Knowledge. So, you know, it's an interesting one. Can't argue with Knowledge, Hamish. Knowledge is power. Careful. And knowledge, strength, and integrity. Says Gareth there. Of course, fighting Joe Fournier next week. Be an interesting one. Now, we've got another scrum reset. And also, you are correct, sir. As the seatbelt tackle not allowed? Not in some regards. Like, in terms of if it's over the shoulder and it's hard to demonstrate on yourself as well, because, of course, you need more arms. Looked like I just tried to hug myself. That looked quite sad. But yeah, certain seatbelt like round near the neck's not allowed. Also, we've got Daniels around. How's the lad doing? More unicorns have been sighted than that bloke. Yeah, that's true. He's doing well. He's been working flat out. He's actually been working for George's family as well for the contracting business. Keep him busy. Still has his girlfriend. He's doing well for himself. But we went fishing with him the other day and he caught quite a few fish. We've actually got him on GoPro catching fish as well, which is quite cool. I do partake in the Sidemen. Says Gareth. I also do partake in that as well. And knowledge sounds like head perfect material or head prefect material, Hamish. Says Just Spike. And be careful of the Bloemfontein and Caro boys. They promise you a braai at 2 p.m. and it ends at 2 a.m. Says Shalaby. Now, fired over the top. Mornay Smith. One of his first carries of the match. And it's actually the 68th minute now. Nice inside ball from Nassim Kar. Stens Hans with the ball on the outside. Another offload and Bros Papia, though, knocks it on in the process. Some hard decisions for the referees to make because there's been a lot of drop balls in the process of also some relatively high shots. Best live commentator, Kiwi Lad, love your Afrikaans name pronunciations. Says Brian, appreciate that a lot, mate. Great to have you. We've got 2 more games tonight. Even though it's 3:10 a.m., we're powering through the night. We've already done 3 streams. This is our 4th. We're gonna have 6. Loving it. And also, cheer, bro, as a Sapper living in Australia, I appreciate your live streams. Going for the Bulls or the Stormers, bro? In this one, I predicted the Stormers to win it by 10, which, yeah, that's Dan Duplessis head on head, but not sure what they will end up calling this one. And isn't that consistent as him? I even stream lives of teams I don't know about because I like you, bruv. Says knowledge. Or isn't that consistent? As I am, I think is what he's put there. I haven't streamed lives of the teams I don't know because I like you, bruv. I appreciate that. Cheers. And the scoreline looking like rugby 22. Curves on the kick and the conversion. Yeah. My kicking did struggle at the start. I think my favourite one, though, was Marnie Libok straight out in front. The one that I absolutely bulldozed and put it as hard as I could. And, yeah, it ended up somehow missing. I got a lot of respect for the Kiwis, man. Good people, says Ethan. Some of us are all right. Depends on who you talk to. Like, that's the thing. From my GoPro cricket videos, I was going to say. But, yeah, from the GoPro cricket, you'll get to see some pretty laid-back cricket taking place. Like, at this stage, we have only played kids in those videos because the games up against adults either get rained off or we played them before I had the GoPro. But, yeah, there's a lot of laid-back Kiwis around. Just to make you a lot jealous, I have a picture with Eben. Says knowledge. I agree. Ethan says Shalabi. Looks like miss. Heaps of knowledge. I blame the dishwasher. His name. Al Herschel Yankees. Oh, once again, we got another scrum reset. And the thing is, the Stormers won't mind this. This is using up more time on the clock, stopping them having to try and defend up against the Bulls, who do still look like they've got a bit of gas left in their tank. They want to empty it here. I'm looking forward to seeing a last-minute converter try from the Bulls to make the score 21 points to 30, because then I would have been actually quite close to correct. My score of Stormers by 10. Once again, Herschel Yankees out to feed the ball in. And the scrums have been relatively even overall. It's off. He's had a big game. 69 minutes out on the park. Not too much longer remaining for him. He's got to do it all again next week if they make it through as well. But now, Herschel Yankees goes back to Marnie Libok. Kicks it downfield on his left boot. Straight into the hands of Kurtley Arinsu. Now goes for the chip in behind. Can't quite get that momentum to start running. Fight it back to Marnie Libok. Now Damien Williams, a lot of pressure on him. Sells about 4 dummies, almost breaking through, but now 10 metres out from his line. He has been dragged down. Counter ruck from the Bulls, but they do lose their footing. Go the Bulls, we love you, says Hina, and thanks for the stream. South Africa living in the US, says Gerald. Oh, sorry, Gerald. And yeah, I said that very weird, didn't I? But does that mean it's about 11 a.m. for yourself, Gerald? Somewhere around there? Is that correct? Hopefully. And I was like, how much do you play rugby yourself sometimes? I do not play rugby, mainly because I'm not exactly a strong individual or a well-built individual. I get broken in half by a big man and then I would be injured, more than likely. But I mean, I've done a bit of goal kicking. It's 10 a.m., buddy. Okay, I wasn't a mile off, getting closer with my US time zones. The Blue Bulls are flaccid, says Chuck there. They haven't quite played to the best of their ability in this contest, but the thing is that because they're playing badly, or is that because the Stormers have forced them to play badly? Because the Stormers are a very good side when it comes to putting on pressure. Stephen Kitsoff wins the penalty and the breakdown. You just have to make sure you've always got someone right there ready. I agree, Ethan, typing on my phone. Keep making typing mistakes. They are amazing people, like the Stormers, lol. Says Shalabi. Marnie Libok will be able to kick this one for the touchline. Herschel uses his shortness as an advantage. Bet Chislin taught him that. Says knowledge. I mean, how old is Chislin compared to Herschel, though? I think Herschel Yankees is older. Chislin Colby. How old is Colby? Chislin Colby is 29 years of age. Herschel Yankees is, oh no, he's 27. So he's a little bit younger. Bulls, you can do it. We know we can. A Bulls one-dimensional team, says Chuck there. Gets off. The penalty. They've done that many times throughout this contest, just getting their hands over the ball. Herschel Yankees now getting taken off the field. That is going to be for Paul DeVet. Gets the final 8 minutes of the contest. Now JJ Kutsia offloads it out the back for Paul DeVet. Big run from Dan Duplessis. Now off to Evan Ruiz. Seems like the Stormers still think they've got one try left in the tank. Now I should mention Bismarck Duplessis is on the field. So look out for a yellow card at some point throughout the next 8 minutes or so. It's kicked him behind from Mani Labok. The ball sits up nicely, though, for the replacement number 23, who came on the field for Johan Hussein, but he's just given it away. Dan Duplessis knocked the ball on, though, just out from the 22. He hasn't been around for ages, though, compared to Herschel. Says Ethan there. Rugby is a sport for all sizes, says Sia Khaleesi. Says Knowledge. Although Sia is not exactly a small bloke, is he? He's quite a large individual. The Bulls are playing badly because they've got a horrible coach, says Grant. Like Steven Kitsoff is going to be down with some sort of injury. Doesn't look like anything too serious. Nice intro commentary for Bismarck. Here's Ethan. Yeah, you got to keep an eye on that, man. Anytime he's running around, like he almost mounted Sasha Ngume Zulu accidentally there. Like that wasn't completely his fault, but he almost ended up jumping on his back. Crowd attendance, 46,888 for this matchup. They've certainly got theirs money's worth. Definitely the ones going for the Stormers. And Rassi Bro says Knowledge and Bulls Stormers. Not looking good for South Africa rugby on today's rugby performance. Awful, says Michael. And let's go Man United, says Ryan as well. I've been really bad with keeping up with the Premier League. I remember when Arsenal were in first. I feel like now they're in about third or fourth, though, aren't they? Whereabouts are Man United sitting overall, Ryan? Are they doing all right? Swanepoel now on the field. That is going to be for Ran Vermaak. Made his way off. Well, 16 points difference between the two sides. The Bulls looking for one last try here, so that my prediction's kind of close. It's the only reason they want one more try, because they got my email that said, hey, you've got to lose the game by 10 points. And they were like, okay. Steven Kitsoff, great performance from him. His skills, very stamina, enthusiasm are very impressive. Says Erno there. I think Chelsea is first. Says Knowledge. Now a big push from both sides. Heinrich Low. Now dragged down by Mani Libok. And like they've said, with 7 minutes to go, they can't really afford to kick this ball away. Kurtley Arinse. Recycled again. Rose Papier. Nzima. Good carry. Thought about that's not a good turnover. They say that the Stormers players weren't in the wrong place, but they were lying in the wrong place there, not allowing Matanzima to get the offload away. And now ball on the inside. Now a nice little chip goes into touch. And it is going to be now a Stormers line out. United a fourth, I think. So that's Man City, I assume. Arsenal, Newcastle United. Oh, okay. Stormers a really step up their games, says Adrian. I think Chelsea is first. Knowledge. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have still got two more games of the URC that we are covering today. The first one is going to be the game between the Sharks and Leinster. That is going to be kicking off in 40 minutes' time, but we are starting our live stream in about 30. And then alongside that, we have got another game that we are covering of the URC. That is going to be Glasgow taking on Munster. Jake White can eat a bag of phallic? Does that mean penis? Grant, is that what that means? Objects. Very slow game, not good for South Africa rugby. For the North versus South Derby, says Gideon. So yeah, the next game will be more than likely at this stage. I think we're close enough to the end of the game to know that the Stormers should be able to win from here. So the next game will be Stormers versus Connacht in South Africa. And hopefully the pitch has repaired itself a little bit by then, because it's looking very rough. They decided to run a whole heap of Burger hiding there. But yeah, monster trucks, they had it a week before. They were just flying around. Some people saying it's been a poor game. What are your thoughts, Hamish? I mean, I'll be honest, it hasn't been the South African derby that a lot of people would have been expecting. But I think that's also because of the fact that it is finals rugby. Oh, see, Khaleesi gets a big cheer there. Crowd have seen him in attendance. Yeah, it's one that both sides were going to play slightly differently because of the conditions, with the fact that it's all or nothing here. Very good game. And also, we have got Hamish. I want to bet on the Sharks. You reckon that's a good bet? I mean, they're heavy underdogs, so if they are going to win, you'll get quite a bit of money back. But it's whether or not they're going to be able to win. And whether it's beneficial to the Stormers, I can really see that they have dug deep. There's Adrian there. So now 6 minutes remaining. Stormers will have themselves the line out on the 22. Just a little bit of strapping going on the head of Evan Ruiz. A big performance throughout this game. Managed to get himself a turnover earlier on. Looks like a bit of an idiot at the moment, I'll be honest, because someone got the strapping very wrong. It looks like he's wearing a swimming cap or a bald cap at the moment. Evan Ruiz, which is why he smiled at the camera and gave them a little wave. No, no, no. This is the best I've seen the Stormers control the game. There's Adrian there. See, that's the thing. Finals rugby, they've been there, they've done that before. So you'd have to say going into the next game up against up against Connacht, they should have a decent crack of being able to do the exact same thing. Now, once again, the Stormers rolling forward. Willie Engelbrecht, good shot being put onto him. Right, Evan Ruiz already has lost his scrum cap or his swim cap, as it did look. Now, Paul the Vet, ball available again for him. Going by Mani Lebok with the cross kick. Lillian Zas waits for it, controls it. It was actually Damian Valimza. He's claiming that try. I think I don't know if he's got this. I am confused. Welcome back, Zas. Khaleesi watching his favourite team, the Stormers. Well, he did used to play for them, didn't he? Yeah, Khaleesi. Evan Ruiz wearing a swell kurs. Not many will know what that is. I have no idea. Right, he was in field for the first touch of the ball there. Damian Valim's second touch of the ball. He was still in the field of play. And then, oh, just touches the line. It's going to be no try. Stormers, go, go, go. There's Doward. And also, but northern part of rugby have improved a lot. It's going to be a different game based on the weather. There's Adrian. Right, they are just checking this one again from a different angle. I believe the Valimza heel just... Yeah, it's one that they're going to probably say no try because it's just brushing the paint. Foot touch the line says Yako, so I think it is going to be called as no try. And Cape Town equivalent, the American do-rag. I don't know how you spell it. Says Ethan, right. So it is going to be a no try. They are going back for another penalty in favour of the Stormers. Oh, and the Bulls number 7, that is actually Kyle Brink, who's already been penalised and yellow carded. So he's got to be careful giving away any more fouls. There's a big smile on his face. Right, they're going to take on the shot here. The Stormers have decided that that is the better option. He's going like this to his teammates. So he's saying we're thinking about it. We're trying to use up a little bit more time. What a try. That's extraordinary, says Grant. Although, unfortunately, no try. In the end, everyone loves the Sharks, says Gareth. They certainly do. Unless you are not a Shark supporter. And please, Bulls, says Hina. Yeah, it should be a good game between Leinster and the Sharks. I feel like it could be a very close one, which is good news because Leinster, that's the thing. They come in as heavy, heavy favourites. But the thing that I am aware of is the fact that they haven't got Johnny Sexton. They haven't got Andrew Porter on the starting side. They haven't got Josh Van den Fleur. There's another option. So there's a decent chance we see a close game. Thanks, mate. Well done again. Claim the assist. That kick is successful. So that will now make the score 33 points to 14. Pressure, pressure. Awesome game temperament. And also we have the Stormers play next in the semi. Here's Nate. They certainly do, and they will be playing up against Connacht when it does take place. 4 minutes remaining. No one likes the Sharks, not even Plumtree. Oh, oh, they're having a stop of the clock. So I will win tonight, but there's fleshing. Okay. Marvin Aurea has made his way off the field. That is for Diamani. Ivan Ruiz is still on the field, even though his head is bleeding quite heavily. Oh, he's chasing the cheerleaders down the tunnel. Not on purpose, though. Oh, awkward landing for Ungume Zulu, but he gets back up to his feet, springs up because he realized that there's a counter-attacking opportunity on the cards. Now, nice wide ball out into the hands of Angelo Davids. Runs straight at Lionel Mapo with a late inclusion into the side for the Bulls. In fact, no, sorry, he was actually in there the whole time. Cheers, Hamish, Stormers and Connacht in there. And also, let's remember who they are playing tonight. Nice ball on the outside. And also, is KSI's prime hype in New Zealand? Not really. I feel like down here, as soon as anyone's like, oi, try and charge you like 5 times what it's worth, everyone's like, nah. So that's kind of the go. Like everyone will just get a chalky milk or a Powerade and they'll be all good to go. Remember, Connacht's got something to prove against the Stormers after hammering them. The hammering they've got from them. Another line out. Mezulu. Pretty solid game for the Springboks when he did play for them a little while ago. Oh, in fact, no, sorry, it was actually South Africa A, wasn't it? But then one of the games that they played for South Africa A was a bit rough. Is that the game that I was thinking of? Maybe I was thinking that he didn't play that well rather than he was playing well. The Stormers says Austin in there as well. A lot of skill though. The Stormers side isn't Prime Logan Paul's piss? Says Gerald. Maybe they brought out a lemonade flavour, didn't they? That was the yellow one. Just showing there the quarterfinal between Leinster and the Sharks is not too far away, ladies and gents. And what do the Kiwis think? I feel about Plumtree coming back to coach the Sharks. We're happy. Says Joss. I think it's one of those ones that it is what it is. At the end of the day, if there's a job available for a coach, they should well and truly take it. KSI and Logan's drink, mate, says Knowledge. And I'll say, yeah, he bloody poured. Or he played poorly in the South Africa A game versus Munster, maybe. I think that was the one that I was thinking of because he didn't get a chance for the box in the end, did he? He had a lot of hype for a chance at the box, but then just ended up making those mistakes in that game, and everyone was like, oh, maybe not quite ready yet. Numbers Papier. Across again. You've got 2 minutes remaining. They might as well throw everything at it. Harold Foster with the cross kick. Now Heinrich Low ball on the inside. Looked a little bit forward. Lands on Ruan Nokia. No, didn't play for the box, I don't think. I wish everyone just focus on the rugby, says Adrian. I feel like trying to get multiple people to concentrate on one thing is very tricky to do. We've talked about Bryce a lot on this live stream, and I have been very happy about it. Now, Chris Smith taking this one into touch, 5 meters out from the line now. The Bulls may go for a quick line out here. Get it in. If they score, then they'll have one last crack near the end. Willie Engelbrecht. And Jason Dixon did end up getting penalised in the breakdown, though, for reaching past the ball. Right, Bismarck Duplessis needs this one to be straight. Got it in. Nicely taken by Yanko Swanepoel. Now going for the rolling maul. Mark Duplessis hanging on to this. It's dull, man, mixed up. Talk about what makes you happy. Everyone have a good time. As long as people aren't spamming, says Ethan. And there, that's loose. But it's going to be going back for the penalty. Don't change your style of commentary / discussion, mate. We enjoy the banter, says Joss. In there as well. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I feel like we've always been a mix of chat and game. Like, if you want pure live commentary, there's radio style commentary out there. There's the actual game, being able to watch it. Heinrich Lowe takes a quick tap. Like, I'm just a Kiwi in a lounge at 3:30 a.m. Probably heavily sleep deprived. Martin Zima now waiting for it again. 15 seconds remain for the Bulls. Oh, Martin Zima about an inch from the line here. Wouldn't even be able to put his head, the ball, and a Subway 6-inch in between him and the try line. Now around the side again, speaking of Subway 6 inches, I might get some Subway cookies tomorrow because those are fantastic. Bismarck scores the try. There you go, Bismarck du Plessis. Everyone thought he would get a yellow card, including myself. But he's got himself a try. There you go. That will be the last play of the day. I'm pretty sure I'm the only 14-year-old that watches the channel live. No, we've got a few younger viewers. I think Henry Samuel's 14. And yes, almost silence a lot of mouths, says Adrian. Maybe a little bit, although they did come in as favourites. And they were on a 7-match winning streak against the Bulls. Triple choc? I don't know about triple choc. I might just get chocolate chip. I know it's a bit basic, but I might just double choc actually annoys me because the chocolate chip cookies just don't feel the same when they're only double choc, you know? We can skull that because it's the end of the match. That is going to be full time 33 points to 21. So my prediction, oh, sorry, not 33, yeah, 33-21. So my prediction of it being 10 points difference between the two sides, it's not a bad guess. Kind of close. And also, the scoreboard says it all, guy. And also, welcome to the party, Adrian. This guy says Nate. And fair play, bud. Don't mind the macadamia ones too. The M&M cookies, they seem to go all right, although they seem smaller than the other ones. The levels of concentration was my worry for real. Well, their level of concentration for the Stormers was Adrian's worry. And thanks so much. Says Stephen Marks there, no worries at all. And off the grid, why do you have an Afrikaans passion? My tongue language. Says Gideon, I think it's just about 2.5 years ago or so, I decided to start doing some South African rugby commentary as well because I love watching the South African sides play. And then from there, started watching, the bigger competitions that they were in. I think I did the URC at the very start and then also the Curry Cup. And I kind of just started slowly picking up on a little bit of the pronunciations. Like I only know a couple sentences of Afrikaans, Yau Lekker Ding, and also Baie Dankie, that kind of thing. But yeah, as I've spent more time watching the South African sides, I actually probably know some of them better than quite a few other countries around the world in terms of the big rugby nations. How long until Sharks commentary? You have got 20 minutes, so 18 minutes till we start our commentary, but 28 minutes till kickoff for that matchup. And well done, boys, says Adrian. And home semi-final, baby, says Grant. There as well. So, yeah, Stormers, they will be taking on Connacht in the next game of the URC. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. Be sure to tune in for that next one between the Sharks and Leinster. And then also after that, we have got Glasgow taking on Munster as well. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel like I mentioned. And we'll see you all for the next one.